What's happened, you savages? It's Tuesday, the 25th of March. That's it. It's a beautiful day to be alive. There's the church, New Testament. Let's get this party started, gentlemen. What's happening, beautiful people? Uncle Joey here. It's March the 25th. Yes. Listen, I want to talk to you about something. Summertime is coming. You know what that means. It's time to head down to Pound Town. Da, 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 da. You need to be able to get that thing up there. And that's where Uncle Joey comes in. Blue Chew makes sure you're ready whenever the mood arises, whether you're on the beach, under the tunnel, wherever you're at, you're ready to go. Sign up at bluechew.com. Meet with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you get approved, forget about it. Your prescription will be there in days. Blue Chew works. They're serious. They come in little pouches. You put one in your wallet, and when you're ready for war, bam, there you are. Anyway, no more wishing, no more praying for your little fucking dick to work. Those days are over with. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at bluechew.com. It's summertime. These women got tons of options. Tons of options. So you better show up with a cape, a helmet, and a box of Blue Chew. Now, this is what I'm going to do for the nice people. You can get Blue Chew for free for 1 month. That's right. You can try it on your own. After you try it for 1 month, you're going to go, Joey, where have you been all my life? It's that easy. First month, Blue Chew for free when you press in promo code Joey, Joey. Again, Joey, Joey. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's promo code Joey. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show and for helping young men sling some dick in 2025. You know what I'm saying? It's the summertime. 4th of July is coming. I love you guys.
Welcome back to church!
Yo, we're back like a hemorrhoid. What's going on, guys? It's a beautiful week. It's going to be tremendous. We got a guest today, a sensational guest. His name is Myron. That's it. Straight all right? You ever see that Bullets Over Broadway? When the guy would call fucking Chaz Palmer, it's just Cheech. But Mr. Cheech, it's just Cheech. That's how it's going to be tonight. This is Myron, a dear friend, family, and as usual, our Jewish friend, Mr. fucking Lee Syed over there.
Definitely not family.
What's up, my brother?
Good to see you, dude.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. I had a good weekend in Boston, did a bunch of shows.
That's what I heard.
They went awesome.
They called me from the bar. They said it was a nightmare.
Oh, the bar was...
what
the
the
late
fuck were you
show
thinking?
Saturday got canceled, so I went and did just a bar in Dorchester. And
sometimes
there's
go
no
home
Jews
and
in
hug
Dorchester.
mom. Sometimes you just got to go home and hug mom. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like it. It's fun. It's so funny. You just yell into the abyss.
You're a fucking trip. You know that?
Doing it. How was your weekend?
My weekend was peaceful. It's tough not having fucking teeth. You know, the bridge broke. You're gonna get a fucking steak. You're there chewing like a fucking, you know, it's a nightmare. You know, they can't even put them in till June or some shit.
Till June?
Yeah, because they have to dig it out and remove 2 teeth that are still good, 2 teeth that go to waste, like fucking waste. And they want like 15 grand a fucking tooth. And the insurance, they pay for like the towels and anesthesia and like a cleaning. What else? Without these teeth, how am I going to fucking survive? But anyway, what are you going to fucking do? You know, we live, we get stronger, and we get better, you bad motherfuckers. And don't forget, Friday, you can't eat meat. Lent, you know what I'm saying? Remember that. Whether you're eating that monkey, whatever you want to eat, you got to give it a pass. Nothing. Fucking, you got to sit there with the white cape on and look up at the sky and wait for Jesus to touch you. All right, that's enough of the fucking religious moment. What's going on, my brother?
Well, not much.
Great to have you here.
Thank you, brother.
The reason why I wanted to bring you in is because you had an occupation that was one of my favorite occupations of all time, which is being a police officer. You know, I wanted to be an attorney, and then I got 4 years, and that dream went out the window. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't gonna
Sometimes your dreams just go down the shitter. So it's always been fascinating to me, like from a regular North Bergen cop to a Hudson County cop to an FBI agent, and then the DEA, And I became in love with all this shit, believe it or not, when I watched the first year of Narcos.
Okay. Yeah,
I just didn't know that they were saying when the DEA started,
Right.
it was in D.C., it was a little office over a strip club that nobody even knew they fucking existed.
Right.
And they went from, just like we did,
Right.
they went from a big bus with a pound of weed with some sandals, some hippie dude, maybe he had some speed, and then they started getting kilos of coke, and then the machine guns came out, and it was so fucking surreal for them. Like, I don't watch all the bullshit stories. I'll just read. I'll just buy a book at Barnes and Nobles, and I'll just read about that whole thing. Even though you came on in 90, the shitstorm was in full fucking blast. You had the fucking New York mobsters going off. You had New Jersey mobsters going off. You had tons of drugs coming into this fucking area by the shitload. And then that's when, not really, there was still a couple Quaaludes around. I don't know what.
Yeah, I never did a Quaalude case.
Nah, you didn't need to do a Quaalude.
We did ecstasy, though. We did a lot of ecstasy.
You're in the DEA.
Drug Enforcement Administration, yes, sir.
So you were telling me you went to Fairleigh Dickinson. Run with it.
So I was in Fairleigh Dickinson. First off, I went to Woodbridge High School, so I'm a New Jersey guy. I graduated, Woodbridge High back in '83. I played basketball, and I ended up playing basketball at Fairleigh Dickinson. After a year, I said to myself, because we had to be there like a lengthy time during winter and everything, I says it wasn't for me, and I just stuck to my studies. And I was a finance major, believe it or not, and I ended up doing, what I'm about to talk about. So I went from being a finance major to basically being a law enforcement guy. I graduated in 1987 from Fairleigh Dickinson, and then shortly thereafter, I made my way to the DEA. That was, the process started, I believe, in 1990. They had a hiring freeze. So I had to wait actually started in '88, excuse me, let me set that back. I ended up getting hired in '90. There was a hiring freeze for 2 years, so I had to wait. In between then, I worked in a prison, a local, a county jail, so, yeah.
What kind of education was that in the county?
I mean, it was, I tell you what, once they lock the doors and you're in there with 150 guys and, you don't have any weapons, you don't have any clubs. And to be honest with you, maybe the guy you're working with, you have two guys in a pod, he might be like 5'6", maybe 130 pounds. And, I was pretty in shape, but, you had a lot of people in there. So you had to be on your P's and Q's. You had to, watch your back, because there was a lot of fighting going on, a lot of people getting shanked. I remember one little story, and I'll tell it quickly. This white dude came in, and off to the side, I said to him, "Watch your sneakers, because someone's going to take them." Lo and behold, about 3 hours later, I hear, "Oh, boom, boom, boom!" I go upstairs. One of the guys from the pod took a those mop ringers, and busted him over the head. And I tell you, it was the worst sight. Then when I saw that, I was like, "Holy shit." You know what I mean? I really got to watch, because there was brains on tile. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but the guy was bleeding very badly. And I was like, holy shit, man.
They took his sneakers?
Excuse me?
They took his sneakers?
Yeah, they took his sneakers. They took his underwear. Yeah. But, that was my first major incident. And that happened quick. So that woke me up.
Why did you go from a finance
Yeah.
I would go to a finance major to avoid doing shit like that. And then why did you switch?
You know what? I mean, I always loved numbers. I mean, to be honest with you, growing up when I was a little kid, my mom used to play blackjack with me, poker, and I was always good in math and stuff. So I said, maybe I'll be like an investment banker. Maybe I'll be an accountant. So as it ended up, as I get out of school, I actually did pretty well in school. I graduated top 10% of my class. To make a long story short again, I got a job here in Hackensack at United Jersey Bank, which then became Summit Bank, which then became Bank of America. But I lasted like 1 year, because, I mean, the people I was hanging with, when I went to work,
right?
I mean, it's got to be fun, too. You know what I mean? You just can't go to work and like crunch numbers because you go insane.
Yeah,
So-
banks aren't that fun.
No. I mean, it's nice when you get a lollipop when you're young and you smile. If you put your $5 in the kettle.
When you saw the brains on the wall, did you at all think about going back to the bank or?
I thought about doing anything else but where I was, man. Especially because I had nothing on me. You only have your mouth and like your mouth and like just your instincts. But I did from working inside the jail, you develop a lot of instincts because you can't use anything else but like your brain.
They don't give you anything?
They don't give you a walkie-talkie. You can hit the panic button. But by the time I hit the panic button, it take about maybe 5 minutes before anybody to come in, so you're on your own.
Why don't they give you a stick? Not anything?
Because they're afraid that if they gave you any kind of weapon, that somebody would use that against you. And back in the day when I was there, and I'll tell you, it was Middlesex County. I still have, I think, 1 or 2 people still working there. I mean, there was always a lot of people in that jail. So, like, when you came into that particular location, they would put you in D-Pod. And no shit, I think it would probably house like 40 people. But what ended up happening was we had to get all mats to put on the ground because there was so many people breaking the law back then, even now too. But I think they don't allow all those people in a particular pod. But there was like 160 people with 2 officers, like checking them, So like if something went wrong, to be honest with you,
You're fucked.
I mean, you're fucked. But I used to play games in there with them. They loved me. They called me Robo because I would have like talent competitions. No shit. So what I would do is I'd give them the fucking mic, you know what I mean, the PA and shit. And some of the brothers would sing, some other people would dance, and some other people would do like some comedy and shit. And whoever did the best, you know what I mean, we'd actually like vote on it, And I would give them 2 cheeseburgers from the grill. Because I brought it in, you know what I mean, from the kitchen staff. So that was cool. It kind of gave you a little respect where they knew that, at least I was taking care of them.
Fuck.
But then again, they probably, do whatever they needed to do with me, if they needed to. So,
I always loved stand-up.
yeah.
But where it came to life was when I got locked up,
Yeah.
And you just brought up a memory, like one of the nights they showed the worst movies. It was in the cafeteria. And they showed the worst. PT 109, like those old, and this is 1988.
Yeah.
And they're showing these black and white movies. But every night, every time that a movie night, the projector broke.
Oh.
There were those old projectors,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
old porno projectors. And it would break. And I don't know what happened. I think now in my mind, I see the guard. He was a chubby dude.
Yeah.
A little tanned. He wasn't Spanish. He was something else. And he came over to me and he goes, "You love talking shit in the kitchen. Why don't you get up on stage? Why don't you get up on the table?"
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And then I heard some of the black guys saying, "Get him up there. Get him up there."
How old were you, about?
I was 25 years old.
Yeah, see, I was there in 88 too. That's when I started.
No,
for
but that
those
was
2
in
years.
Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little different than
I was
Jersey.
in a complete different fucking
got you.
state. But it always stuck with me. Like, in fact, I was just talking to somebody about the confidence I got doing whatever I was doing on Wednesday nights. It was like 3 months of it.
Right.
And I was doing everything then. I was a Jamaican.
Yeah.
I was the attorney.
Right.
I was the fucking house attorney. So if you got into a beef, I went to see the little judge with you, and we cut a deal. You got to do laundry for 8 weeks. You can't eat bread, shit like that. And then I took over pretty much the entertainment.
Yeah. That's a good thing. Yeah.
We would go in, but it's really weird that I didn't forget. I knew I always did stand-up in there.
Right.
But till you said that you were the guy that did the talent contest, I was like, Jesus Christ, God bless people like you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. That's definite. I mean, because you get bored in there too. Because what's in there? You had like a little TV, like you said. They would do that movie night, and then chow time would come up, and everybody would go nuts because they want their Slim Jims, they want their Reese's, you know what I mean? And then the meds, all of a sudden you hear meds up. Everybody would run. Everybody was on fucking meds, So
Sure.
it's just the way it was. And yeah,
Like
I learned a
Tuesdays
lot.
and Thursday, you get commissary.
Yeah, and it came in a
people
little
go
brown
nuts.
bag. Yeah.
You take a shower and shit. You get ready for that motherfucker.
But that was problem. That was problem, like too, because then people would be fucking heisting people's shit. Give me your bag. Now I got to go over there and most of the time I just turn the other way and let them handle it, because most of the times what would happen, to be honest with you, they wouldn't fight because they were scared. Some of them would, though, and you knew which ones to stay away from.
I think in lower capacity, like I got 4 years, and I was in Boulder.
Yeah.
And right away they told me when I went in, they go, we got overcrowding.
Yeah.
You're getting shipped to Texas or Oklahoma. And I'm like, what? And they're like, sit tight, we'll let you know. Then 3 days later, they came and got me.
Yeah.
And I go, where the fuck am I going? They go, you're going to Summit County Jail.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, Summit County? This ain't in Jersey.
I was thinking Jersey, yeah.
This is Colorado. This is a fucking ski resort.
Oh, shit.
And all of a sudden, I'm in a ski resort, and they're like, I go, where's my prison uniform? They're like, wear what the fuck you want. And it was maybe 20 people, 20 of us, but it was like 20 of us. And there were like maybe 4 guards. And I thought I was locked up. I was going to I was waiting to go to a state prison. Yeah. And like the first night, the guy comes to me and he goes, Diaz, what do you want? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, what do you want? I go, commissary? He goes, fuck commissary. We go to Safeway. They would go to Safeway.
There you go. You had it good.
Oh, my God. And they had cable TV, carpeting. Yeah. We played handball outside with whatever clothes you had. But I met an interesting dude in there that had a great story, and I read his paperwork. This motherfucker got in trouble. He got caught with 2 kilos of coke. He sold it to the FBI. Forget what his name was, New York City guy. He got in trouble, he got pinched, and part of his deal was to buy 2 kilos with these 2 undercover cops inside. Are you ready for what this motherfucker did? He got a house that he knew was already vacant. He set it up inside with a light. He went in and he dug like a little path, and he came on. He took the money, the 2 kilos of coke, and he came back to New York for like 8 years.
I mean, the guy that they wanted to...
The feds couldn't find him. They had the whole neighborhood staked out. This motherfucker slipped right through him.
It was the FBI, though, right?
It was the FBI.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been the DEA.
No, they let him slip right through. He was there because they caught him 8 years later. And now he was looking at like 28 fucking years.
Oh, no.
Tremendous. This was a great program they ran up there. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's all right. That's funny because it reminds me of something quick that I'm going to just talk about. And I won't really mention an office, but we have like 19, 20 offices. But there was an office that locked up 2 guys. And let's say this is about maybe like 12, 14 years ago. So what ended up happening was there was a big marathon that most of the agents, and there wasn't many agents in this particular group, that they went to this marathon after they locked the guy up, and they thought somebody was still with the guy taking care of him. So it was a Friday, you know what I mean? So this guy is in one of our lockups, you know, our cell blocks, because what happens is we have a holding tank, and then we'll take you, like if it was Eastern District or Southern District, we'd take you to Brooklyn or Manhattan. But this guy, for some fucking reason, they forgot that he was there. So this guy stayed in the fucking holding tank, no shit, for 3 days. And nobody was there, so he didn't eat anything, but he was drinking from the toilet bowl. So thank God that, you know, we have a toilet bowl in there. But I tell you what, I mean, a lot of you're laughing all and stuff. The guy, I think, come away with like $6 million because there was a massive lawsuit. And this is legit, you know, this is what happened.
How do you forget about somebody?
That's what we all said. But again, I won't mention the office, and it's my own people, but it did happen.
$6 million for fucking toilet water?
Yeah, I would do that too.
I'd do that too. By
Yeah,
the
I'd eat
fucking
my
barrel.
own. I might eat my own shit for
I'd
that.
bathe, yeah. Absolutely. I use it as skin cleanser.
Yeah.
Right? It might even hit. People wash themselves with their own feces. It's a hit. You know, Gloria Stefan is doing it.
How long did it take him to start drinking from the toilet?
I mean, I think the guy was a little high too. From you know,
Oh, fuck you, you
that
gotta
when they
be
brought
high.
him in, you know, yeah, it was a couple of kilos they got him with, but I think it was like the next day because I think he was still like yelling for people and like, you know, like nobody came. You know, he's banging from what he says on the toilet bowl is like metal, so he's banging on it. You know what I mean? Nobody's coming. They're all at a marathon. You know, they're going like in Vegas.
Right.
So, you know, I'm talking about a division that's close to Vegas, but, you know, sometimes shit happens, man, you know?
So what were your 3 first years in the DEA about?
Oh, Jesus, my first day, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, I came in full of piss and vinegar. I had a nice suit on. So they said, you're going to group D22, you know? So I says, okay. So I go, I meet the guys. They're all laughing at me because I got a suit on. You know, I go, well, you know, it's the first day. He goes, take the suit off, you know? I go, okay, we're going out tonight. So I go, what are we going to do? What are we going to do, you know? And there's like 10 guys, 12 guys to a group. You know, everybody has their own car. You have your own desk. We're going to the Washington Heights, okay, where the Dominicans are. So I go, let's go, you know. So I go in the car with my senior partner, and I'm riding shotgun. He's talking to me, and we got a deal going with, we have 2 of our informants, and they're meeting with some Dominicans, and we got like transmitters going, and everything's, you know, we're watching everything. All of a sudden, the hit signal goes, you know, get out, we got to go get him, you know. So now I get out of the car with my partner, and I was in good shape because I just came to the academy, so I was one of the first ones there, and I got one of the guys that went in the bodega on the ground. Everybody else started scattering because, again, you're in the Heights. They think you're coming for everybody. You know, no shit, there was kilos coming out of the window. You know what I mean? Money and shit. And I'm in a bodega, and we're looking for 2 other guys that escaped. So I left a guy with one of our other guys, and 3 of us or 4 of us went off looking in the streets for these guys. We were going to apartments, and no shit, one of my partner, he was carrying a machine gun, and he goes, take the machine gun. And I go, what do you mean? I never was even trained on a machine gun. Even in the academy, we only shot it a couple of times. So I just threw this motherfucker on my back. And I remember when I was running, it was hitting me in the head. I was like, oh, Jesus, I had like lumps on my head. But we ended up not getting the rest of the guys. But the moral of the story, I mean, it was a fun first day. And the thing I vividly remember, so now you make the arrest, right? You go back to the office. Now they're having the new guy process them and do all that bullshit, you know, taking pictures. Now I got to stay all night with the guy. You know what I mean? And then in the morning, I got to take the guy to arraignment. So it was a long day. I think, honestly, I probably slept like 20 hours after that, you know, to get my energy back. But it was fun. And I was like, wow, this is where I want to be. You know, this is fun. I mean, you know, it's not the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
It was far cry from the bank. So
what you're telling me is when you rob a bank, it's the best day of their lives.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
get some action in there.
Yeah, you got to have that. I love
They
action.
see the manager get bitch slapped. Papa, give me the safe.
Yeah. Oh.
Why does the DEA go and not the cops? Like, why are you brought in? Are they just bigger people?
I mean, it really depends on, like, you work, like, for instance, in New York. I was always in New York. I had to do a tour in D.C. When you're in New York, there's about 20 groups here, and each group specializes in possibly something. Okay. So, like, and then you make your own cases. You know, so like, you make cases based on informants. If you don't have informants, you're not going to make cases. But we did make cases, and I'll get to that later, in Brooklyn without informants, and that was difficult. But I mean, once you get your horses, your informants, they're just setting up deals, and you could do deals basically every night. I mean, you know, you really don't want to because then you're in jail. Excuse me, you're not in jail. You're in court all week long, and you got to do other things. So, I mean, it's not like we're doing bigger cases. We are. But, you know, we got to remember one thing, too, that the DEA has a lot of money. Okay. So in order to make buys, like what I'll get into later on, like if you're with NYPD, the most you're going to do a buy for is like $400 or $500. Where I was like giving like 40,000 to people.
Jesus.
You know, and letting it walk and doing it 2 or 3 times. So, I mean... You know.
How hard is it to convince someone to be an informant? Because I think I'd flip immediately. I don't think you have to ask that hard.
No disrespect. I think you'd probably flip in 2 seconds. Man.
I would offer it immediately. But some people they act like they're not going to do it. Was it hard to flip people?
Not really, because let's just take for instance, like in the Heights. When we worked the Heights, right?
Right.
We would do crack cases. Okay. So there was mandatory sentencing federal guidelines where if we got them with 50 grams of crack, you're definitely doing 10 years. That's a long tour. You know what I mean? So right. The Dominicans, to be honest with you, because they didn't speak much English back then, they didn't really know what the fuck was going on. So you'd bring them back to cell blocks, they wouldn't talk, right? And they wouldn't talk, and they just you know what I mean? And I just say, you know, my group would say, let's just take them down, we're tired. 3-4 days later, they'd be crying. You know, now all of a sudden they're speaking fucking English. You know what I mean? To the attorneys. Hey, can you get me out of here? You know what I mean? Right. I go, well, your time might be lost because, like, people know you're in jail now. But to be honest with you, I was always a decent guy when people, you know, cooperated because I feel people make mistakes. You know what I mean? And if you make a mistake, you know what I mean? Instead of doing 10 years, perhaps, with the judge's approval and some letters written to attorneys and stuff, maybe they'll do like 5 or 6, or sometimes maybe it'll do like 0, like, depending on what the circumstances are. So.
And can you stop being an informant, or are you just an informant forever now?
We let you know when you stop.
Well,
No,
like,
I mean,
When you get shot in the head,
No, I mean, and you know what?
they come to the funeral. Your son was a great informant.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. He did a great job,
He did a great job. He was.
But you know what? Yeah, I mean, some people, to be honest with you, I had people that just came in that just wanted to be an informant because, let's just say you were doing a money case, okay? Meaning like, you're looking for like $1 million. You're looking to do a reverse on somebody. Instead of buying cocaine, you're saying you have cocaine or you have heroin, right? If somebody shows up, let's just say with 200,000 and stuff, okay, and we come and we lock you up, federally, I mean, it's a conspiracy. You're still going to get hit for, what you were negotiating for. But what ends up happening is we collect the money. Now, if the informant was not a defendant informant, we would put him in for 25% of that cut. So, for instance, I would cut a check, not me personally, but it would come from headquarters. Maybe 6 months later, that person might get like 60, 70,000. And let's just say you're doing $1 million. Let's say you're doing. I had informants that made more money than probably my whole group. And you know what? It was like, we'd be like, motherfucker, maybe I should just stop and become an informant, because here I am not making peanuts, but these guys are making real money, so.
I didn't know they got paid like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can put them in for 25%. And like I said, some guys would just walk in and say, hey, I know somebody who's got money, and you take it from there, and we're not going to turn them down. So, it was fun. I tell you what, it was a blast, man. I wish I was back there. I mean, still doing it, but I tell you, the commute for me, and I'm talking about silly shit now, but the commute was horrible because I live down south, you know what I mean? So every day you'd have to make that trek down. And, sometimes, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, you're looking like the fucking Holland Tunnel is jammed up. And I'm like saying to myself, what are they doing, waxing the fucking tiles again? It's like you never got home, It was hard, especially if you had kids, so.
Now, before you started making buys and all that stuff, do they actually train you?
You really can't train someone to make a buy. I mean, we had like undercover classes, which is silly, over at the academy. Most of the people, I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not trying to tap myself on the back or whatever, but for a white guy, I did a lot undercover, and I enjoyed it because I don't mind getting in front of people and talking if I don't know them. If I do know them, I don't give a shit if I make a fool out of myself, and a lot of people ask me to do undercover for their cases. So I did a lot, you know what I mean? And that was fun. That was the best part of the job for me, doing the undercover. I frankly didn't like doing surveillance because, you'd have to sit on somebody for 10 hours. You might not see shit. Maybe hear a dog barking in the place, or maybe the guy finally leaves his house, but he goes to Burger King and goes back. But you need the surveillance. You know what I mean? You gotta keep eyes on these guys to see, what they're doing, who they're meeting with. And a lot of these guys are night owls. So, a lot of times you got to stay there a long time. You just don't leave. You know what I mean? You got to leave when the boss says go. And if you had a good boss, sometimes he let you go a little early, but,
Tough to have a marriage with that job.
It was rough. I gave my wife, obviously, Denise, a lot of credit because we had 2 sons and, they were in school and she had to do everything. And, by the time I got home, I tell you, she had, food on the table, even if I came home late. So, and then the kids would be in bed. So I missed a lot of the kids, different things that they were doing with sports or with school functions, their friends. I missed all that. And that's horrible, so.
It's just crazy because for years, as George knows, I'm a Miami Vice fan.
Yeah.
Like so was everybody else my age at the time. And I remember like guys going to buy 10 kilos and not doing a line of coke.
Yeah.
Like just looking at it with a tube and give him the money. And the guy would leave. I'm like, bitch, I got to see you do something. Like that's always been my thing. Like,
yeah.
And then I got locked up and it's a federal case.
Okay.
So they arrested me for like 3 hours and they put me in a federal bin in Boulder. But I was in there with some dude who I'd never seen before. He was dressed like he was going to a Michael Jackson party. This motherfucker had like a tuxedo on. Yeah. The tuxedo was loose. like Elvis, what not Elvis, but like Tom Jones.
Yeah.
He would let the tuxedo top
What's
on.
new, pussycat?
Fucking guy was beautiful, sharp hair, moosed up. You know, you could tell he had done coke for like 4 days. And we started talking, and you know, I go, "What happened?" And he's like, "Dog, this is the wildest thing." And we just started talking. And he said that he went on a trip with a girl and another couple. And on the way back, that guy was a fucking undercover Fed.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes, he was doing coke with me, line for line. And I'm like,
Nah, the guy was bullshitting, man.
but then you watch a movie like Rush.
Yeah.
And I know you've seen
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
right?
I try not to watch too much, but I tell you what, I enjoyed Narcos and stuff like that. Because,
No, not Narcos.
Yeah,
The other movie with
yeah.
The guitar player, the crazy piano player.
Yeah.
He dated Cher, George. He was the piano player in that band that does the Allman Brothers. Did you ever
Okay.
see that movie?
I probably did, but it's not coming to me right now. You know,
It's a movie
probably,
about he's like a kingpin somewhere. But the moral of the story is Jason Patrick, Jackie Gleason's grandson, and a pretty girl from Fast Times.
Oh,
They
yeah.
become undercover agents, but their boss is Sam, whatever his name is, and he just tells them, you got to get high with these people. And these guys go off the fucking deep end, and then they go to a rehab. By the time they go to court, they look like, you know, Johnny Verrucci, and there's no blood test, they piss positive, they shave their hair. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, have you heard of this shit, or is this just jailhouse bullshit?
Nah, I mean, like he says, it is probably a story, but like when I was doing my things or anybody does their things, if you're dealing with like legit businessmen, because you might be thinking about maybe some mutts on the street, you know what I mean, some kids or but you know, with the DEA, most of the times what we were dealing with normally, I mean, you'd have to start low sometimes. You're talking, these are businessmen, Colombians, you know what I mean, Mexicans now, right? Whether it be the Italians. So I mean, these guys ain't really doing this shit. So like when I was posing and doing some of my things and stuff, I mean, nobody would even ask me that. And I met some pretty top heavy people. And you know what? I would just be like, if they asked me, I'd be like, get the fuck, I don't do that shit. You know what I mean? I just make money off it. I mean, you know, that's just poison, you know? So, you know, could be stories. I know, you know, with the DEA, I mean, that doesn't go down at all. But, again, it depends on who you're working. Like, you know, I would never go, although I have done this. I mean, you're not supposed to go in people's houses and stuff like that, or in apartments or nightclubs and shit. I've done that on a lot of
You
occasions.
gotta go to a nightclub.
Yeah, but they don't want you going in because then surveillance doesn't see you. I mean, I have a story. I don't even want to. I have so
Okay.
many
I mean,
friggin' stories.
I mean, like on the way home,
Yeah.
there's a club, you know, where people hang out.
Yeah.
And on the way home, before you go home, you stop and then get a drink, see what's going on in your neighborhood. I thought it was like that.
No, I'm talking about like if I'm going even to go make a buy and shit. I mean, it was times that, you know, I would go, and be honest with you, I have a drink or two before I go in and make a buy. And, you know, I'll tell you, I'll give you one quick story. I don't know how it's going to come out. My memory's a little shot, but one of the guys from DEA was working this guy. He was a Russian guy. He was a big motherfucker, about 6'5", 300. And I didn't know him from Adam, nor did the DEA agent that had the case. But apparently he killed a cop in Queens, you know. So they're like, hey, Myron, you know, I'm like, what? You think you could try to meet this guy? I'm like, do you know him? Do you have an informant? No. You have a phone number? I got a phone number. So I end up calling the guy, you know what I mean? Just out of random, just say, fuck it, let me try it. I forgot the guy's name. I believe it might have been Steve or whatever, but he was a Russian kid. He didn't speak full English. And I'm like, I call up, I go, hey man, I know you from somebody from somewhere. And you know what I mean? I know you're over at it was the Limelight with Pete Gation and stuff. Because to be honest with you, our office was right across the street, so we would watch it a lot. And he ended up wanting to meet me based on, you know, I don't know what the fuck I said, but we ended up meeting. But again, to make a long story short, he wanted to meet in an area, maybe it was about 6 blocks away. And I got there early with my surveillance team. And I says, man, I'm here early. I'm by myself. And I'm like, you know, I'm a little nervous too, because he's a big guy. He might have killed this cop. And it was a big story back in the day. The cop in Queens they come up to the car and they pull the trigger and they put one in his head. And so I got there early and I'm like, fuck, man, I'm looking around for a bar or something, you know? So I see one and I go, I go over to the bar. Now, everyone's watching me. I didn't give a shit, my surveillance. I go to try to get in the door. The guy goes, "You can't come in here." I go, "What do you mean?" I said, "I want to get a fucking drink." He goes, "You're not allowed in here." I'm shaking my head, and I go, "Why?" I'm looking around, though, and I'm seeing something a little peculiar, you know what I mean? Because there was nothing but guys in there, So what ended up happening was, now the guy calls me and says, "Are you here?" I go, "Yeah, I'm here." He goes, "Where are you?" I go, "Well, I'm by this bar." I go, "But I can't get in." He goes, "I'm inside the bar." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Try to come in now." So I go back, they let me in. It was a gay place, you know what I mean? With all guys in there. I mean, it was crazy shit going on. I can't even recall because I was like a little nervous to meet this guy, and he was big. He met me at the door. He went to everybody, but there was guys on the bar, like, shaking, and everyone's drinking shots. They're all dancing, bumping with each other. All of a sudden, he goes, "Come on downstairs." Now, there's all marble going down these stairs, and I'm going to myself, "Motherfucker, Myron." I'm saying to myself, "You're by yourself, man." I go, "I gotta go. I'm fucking ready in here, So I follow him down there, and I stop at the end of the stairs. Now, he goes in a urinal, you know what I mean? And this guy is huge. I don't know how he got the fuck in there, because he got to squeeze in there. It was like Superman. And he's in there. Now I'm a little nervous, and I don't normally get nervous like that. He opens the door, and he goes, "Come on in." Now, we're in a gay joint, and I'm not trying to pick on it, but I'm thinking, what's this guy going to do? Is he going to do something to me in there, whatever? I'm just thinking crazy thoughts, So I go in there, and he goes, "You got the money?" I go, "Yeah, you got the money." He goes, "The stuff's underneath the toilet." I look at him, and I go, "I'm not fucking bending down to get that shit." I go, "Go get that shit and give it to me like a fucking man," you know what I mean? But he was nervous too. I was nervous. We ended up doing the deal, is the moral of the story, you know what I mean? When I came back out and I went back to the office, everybody was pissed at me because I went inside, but I did the job. But again, those are the kind of things you don't want to do, because a couple of our other agents, like namely, and I'll mention one that I had a case, was Everett Hatcher. I don't know if you all remember Everett Hatcher from Staten Island. Gus Faraci was going bananas there in Staten Island. There was a movie made about it. Actually, Tony Danza played Gus Faraci, and he was out of control, and he killed our guy, Everett Hatcher was doing undercover, and something happened. I don't want to get into it, but the guys lost him, and he ended up getting killed. And basically what happened after that, which was obviously very sad to see somebody, getting taken out like that, and that somebody could actually do something like that over drugs. But I guess Faraci was just nuts, you know what I mean? So what ended up happening for like a good 6 months after that, we rode them, all the guys, the Italian guys, every fucking family, broke down their games, did everything until somebody, came up with where this guy's at, Faraci. I don't know if you saw the movie. I mean,
There was
Tony Danza played him. I think it was Tony Danza. He plays all those movies. He was in another one of ours, that Mob Over Miami was another movie that was made about that Chris Ludwigson kid who was dating Madonna.
Yeah.
But he had issues that nobody knew. He opened up a club in Lauderdale. It was a Club Liquids. I mean, it was one of the biggest clubs.
Monday night.
Boy,
Black Cat, Pussycat.
Yeah.
On Monday night. I went there once. They gave me a cock ring. On a Monday night, I went there.
There you go.
With some people from the Improv. I was in shock. I didn't even know what a cock ring was. I ain't going to lie to nobody here. I was like 40 years old. I had no idea. That's how deep they took it. Let me tell you how hot the club was. On Monday nights, it was very tough to get a plane ticket out of Newark or LaGuardia to go to Miami. That's how hot it was.
I mean, now even today, that's hot. I mean, Miami's hotter than Vegas. I mean, it's unbelievable. But that's a whole nother
Where
story.
is Chris Ludwig now? Let's get to it. Last I heard, he had a pizza place 2 miles from me.
He might. I mean, like I said,
Yeah, he opened up 2 restaurants in L.A. again.
Yeah.
And let me tell you who else he dated. That if everybody forgot about.
I know who. I know Sofia Vergara.
Vergara.
Yeah, but who was also in that mix was Sandra Bernhardt. They were all, that was, back in the day, obviously Madonna was the shit, And this kid, I think, you know what? And the reason I know this, because what ended up happening was we did a lot of cases, and sometimes when you do too many of them, you give cases away. I had given that particular case away to another guy who worked it, but I still was involved with it. But he was like 23, 24 years old. He was running Miami. I mean, and he had a lot of people behind him, you know what I mean, that were mob guys. But he was a tough kid. You know what I mean? He was hurting people in his clubs. You know what I mean? If they disrespected him, and he did get a lot of respect there until what ended up happening was his history came back on him. You know, and that was he did a push-in job in Staten Island with this other
PK?
kid. What's that?
What's the kid's name he did it with?
Well,
'Cause one of those just got out.
I better tell you, I'm gonna give up names. There was one kid. I remember, there was actually all three of them were there. I think Paciello. Then he changed his name to Ludwigson because I guess he broke off from his father. I mean, he was with another kid by the name of Reynolds.
PK Reynolds or something.
It was Tommy Reynolds, and then there was somebody else. Again, I had
The
dropped
guy
that kid.
just got out of jail maybe a month ago.
But they did, a decent amount of time. And I tell you, it was horrible what these kids did. I mean, they knocked on the door because in Staten Island because they thought there was like, I think 300,000 in a fucking cereal box, whatever it may be. And the lady come to the door and her husband was behind her. And the kid Reynolds just come, boom, and shot her. Jesus, man. And so that's what came back to him, where, he would have been gold there in Miami, but he had to do his time. And I think he ended up doing 16 years maybe, or I'm not actually sure, you know what I mean? Because I didn't follow it. Again, you can't quote me on some of these things, even some of the names sometimes because it's been a little while. But, yeah.
Did anything like that happen when you were undercover? Like anyone pull a gun, anything like, and what do you do in that situation?
Well, thank God nobody ever pulled a gun, like I said, because I never would have a gun on me. Because when I worked a lot of these mob guys, and I worked some older guys from the French Connection day, and that's when I was getting giving $40,000 and letting it pass. I let it walk 3 times. That's how much the bosses loved this case because we got involved with some good people. But when I started meeting these guys, and I'll mention, and this guy he did more time in Connecticut, and I think he just got out again. After we locked him up, he got out. He just likes to be in jail, I guess. I guess he likes the commissary, you know what I mean, the Slim Jims and shit. But, I was meeting a guy by the name of Frankie Catino, and he was an old fucking guy. And I would meet him at a place called La Maganette over in the city, which was on like 53rd and 2nd Avenue. And I tell you, that was a fun case because... I'm kind of losing myself here because this case initially was handed to us through an informant from Jersey, actually, and I'll say he's dead now. Joey Eppolito was the informant, and I got to give props to my partners and the case agents on this, on all these cases I'm talking about. One is Eric Stangby, and the other one is Robert Brizzolari, who are great agents, and we did a lot of things. But I was meeting this guy at this La Maganette, and like they would pat you down right away. So if you had a gun on you and shit, you know what I mean, it wasn't working. They would pat you down for wires. And I remember I used to bring a whole wad of cash into La Maganette, and I felt like a king because, I really didn't have that money, but I was taking it from, the government, So I remember the bartender, she was a good looking girl, you know what I mean? And she liked when I come in because I'd say champagne, boom, boom, get this guy this, whatever. And I'd always give her a good tip. But that's when I first, started meeting, we called him Herbie, Frank Catino in La Maganette. And that was a big case. There's some, he was involved with the French Connection Day. You remember the French Connection? I mean, back in the 70s where that was the boys from Pleasantville Avenue. Okay. Elvis Presley sung about that, right? What was the name of that song? The Purple Gang. You know what I mean? So that was fun because I was meeting with 3 or 4 guys at that time, and that case took about a year. And it all came from, that one informant who now, unfortunately, who ended up, to be honest with you, he was a really good guy. He just made some mistakes, and he was involved with O.J. Simpson and back in the day. That's how popular this guy was. He was a very charismatic person, and his father was big in the mob too. His father was Joey, and Joey was a big marijuana coke guy. So he's the one. I had to actually meet his brother while Joey was in jail. I met his brother in Point Pleasant for like a weekend to go over our game plan because I had to remember like all these people because I was supposed to be like Joey's like guy, now took over. So, I was spending a lot of time with them, and then they set me free, and for like a year and a half, we went up on a lot of wires. We locked up a lot of people. Again, Rob Brizzolari and the group, he did an outstanding job. And, we actually got into the heroin was coming from China. And there's a big difference between heroin. You know, there was Afghani heroin. There's all kind of crazy heroin, right? There's hillbilly heroin. But the shit from China, man, when he brought that shit to me, we always met at La Maganette. I'd say to him, hey, Herbie, I go, you got it, right? Because we'd be sitting having some pasta and shit, like on a little table outside. And I vividly remember, I could smell the heroin. That's how strong it was. And, you know, I'd give him the 40,000. He'd give me the fucking brick, and we'd go. You know, and that was that. And we did that for a year. I made 3 or 4 buys into him. So we spent alone just the money, you know, do the multiplication. 4 times 4, that's 160,000, right? But we ended up getting good players. You know, again, I can go into a lot of other names and stuff that maybe you all know or maybe you don't, but they were like, this guy was related to like captains from the Lucchese family, you know, and a lot of high level people. So, yeah.
It's crazy how many of those guys made millions of dollars
But this
selling
guy,
heroin.
yeah, but you know what? The funny fucking thing about it is this guy Herbie, he looked like, honestly, he looked like Mr. fucking Perdue. You know, he was skinny. He had no fucking hair. He hardly had a car. So, like, for instance, he had the juice enough to get the heroin, you know. But these guys like that, like, and you'll see a lot of guys, like, they don't really have the money. They're not really the businessmen, you know. So this guy would do whatever he can to, you know, to make a dollar, you know. And I don't know what his cut was. He took off the end, you know. But then again, I on another occasion, he loved the fact because I was fucking winding down. Then I bought him warm-up suits. I bought, you know what I mean? I gave him a case of fucking this. It all went together where it gave you like kind of credibility, you know. So that was fun. That was one of my, you know, I don't want to say best undercovers were, but it was like. It was like just fun to do because I didn't have to go to the office. You know, my one big boss, you know, you could wear sweats, you could wear shorts. I'd make phone calls from around my house now, you know, because they knew I was from New Jersey. So that was cool.
Did you ever have to be careful of like not going to that area of the city when you were just off? So like they wouldn't recognize you, or that wasn't something you were worried about?
I really wasn't worried about it. But one thing that happened, and it's a good thing that you brought this up because, again, my mind is all over the place. The thing that happened in this case, okay, is when this thing fucking went down, we locked up about 20-something people, okay? And what happened was the undercover's not allowed to be there for the takedown, obviously, because they don't want to see, like, oh, you know, I called myself Chuck, by the way, you know what I mean, when I was doing undercover. So what ended up happening, they did the takedown, and during the takedown, you know, afterwards, I came into cell blocks, and they were trying to figure out what the fuck happened, you know? And all of a sudden, Herbie saw me, and they overheard, like, someone saying, hey, Myron, come here. Herbie goes like this, I can't believe I got did by a fucking guy by the name of Myron. And I looked at Herbie because I had promised Herbie, I says, Herbie, you know, in a week or so, the Stones are around. I got fucking tickets. We're going to go. I says, well, you know what, fucking Herbie? You ain't going to the fucking Stones concert either. You know, so... yeah, but, you know, those were the kind of guys, like, we locked up, like, a lot of the older guys, they didn't really give a shit. They didn't mind doing time. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, like they go and play probably fucking dominoes or something. But then again, I just found out with Catino, I'm looking through some articles, he got out after doing 10 years with us. He went right fucking back in. Like a year later, he got caught in Connecticut. You know, he had a lot of ties to the Lucchese's in Connecticut. One of them was like this guy, Anthony Bawat. I mean, he's well known. You know, he was one of the captains and stuff. They were involved with, gas pipe. You remember gas pipe? He wanted to blow up fucking MDC. He wanted to escape there. He was going to do it. You know what I mean? So you can't make this shit up. I mean, when you're on a wiretap. And a lot of times I would be listening, like the first wire we did, which I didn't even get into. I mean, the shit that these motherfuckers say on the phone, I mean, you just got to laugh, you know, because they're saying, shh, don't talk, you know what I mean? But yet they're fucking telling you everything. Yeah. And I'm laughing. And back in the day, I mean, nowadays, the kids that, you know, and I call them kids because they are, the agents have everything computerized. Back in the day, I'd be on 4 fucking phones with our group. I'd be in a chair that had the wheels like this. I'd have to, like, one phone would be going off. Whoosh, I'd wheel over there, right down the other one's going off. Whoosh, wheel over there, you know. You'd be going nuts, you know, because they just talk so much, you know, and that's how you get them, you know. And that's how we did get him, and it was fun. We locked up 75 fucking people on that first case with me and Eric Stangby. Again, I want to mention him because, you know, he was my senior partner, and it was unbelievable. I mean, we started with a beeper. Back in the days, that's why it says we normally start with informants.
Right.
We backed out of a beeper. They were wearing beepers back then in Bay Ridge and Bensonhurst. We backed out of that, and we got 80 fucking guys, man. 80 fucking guys. It didn't stop. You know, I wanted the case to end because it was like, as a matter of fact, I'll tell you a story. When we did the fucking takedown, this is just a little side note. I had one group, there was one guy that was doing some shit because a conspiracy in the federal system, you're still gonna do the same amount of time. But this guy was dealing low level with this crew, but he fucking lived in, no shit. He lived under Avenue U in a fucking box, like a cardboard box. And we wrote the instructions onto all the people that when you go out and do the takedown, there's like 5 guys that go do them. We said, yeah, you're going to find this fucking guy, Matt. He's going to be in this fucking cardboard box. And lo and behold, they come back to the lockups after he goes, Myron, you were fucking right. He was in the cardboard box. And, you know, here he is involved with all these other guys and, you know.
So let me ask you this, because I get mad at my friends who, like, will text about buying weed from, like, when they don't go to a dispensary, but they'll be like, hey, do you have trees tonight? Or I'm looking for...
Yeah, you ain't
Cops
nothing.
know what that means. That's they're being stupid, right? Like if they text about like buying.
I mean,
weed.
of course, but back in the day, but nowadays, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Nobody bothers with that shit. I mean, like even back in the day, like I'm being like for federally. See, we used to do a lot of the Italians on the marijuana, but we would do them on RICOs. If you all know what a RICO is, you know you have to have 2 predicate felons. So they might be doing gambling, they might be doing prostitution, they might have had a couple of murders, and we'd bang them. And that's how actually Giuliani started this shit, you know, with the RICO. So when you get them, they're doing like just about life, and you know, basically they got to flip. But nobody's bothering with that shit. I mean, it would take 1,600 pounds back in the day for me to actually have anyone do a little bit of time. But when you put that together with other charges, then it you know makes a difference.
1,600 pounds.
Yeah, that was the federal guidelines. I think for like you might get like 5 years.
5 years?
But not even that because you probably get out, you know, early. But we didn't, like I said, we did that as we did RICOs. We put that on top of other charges, you know. So,
dude, they scared us so much in school. I thought if I bought like $10 worth of weed, I was going to jail forever.
No.
Like I was scared.
Well, it's good that you were scared, to be honest with you, because you got to fear something in life.
Yeah, I
so
guess
that's
so.
good. But you know, the weed stuff. I mean, even now. I mean, everything is different now, too. So there's some jurisdictions, like I went out to L.A., and again, that goes back to the Eppolito thing, and we were doing more buys from this. It turned out to be the O.J. thing. But what ended up happening was sometimes they wouldn't even want to do the cases if you can get them 10 kilos of coke. That's how different districts work. Like Southern District and Eastern District were great. They would do whatever you wanted. But you go out to, like, when we talk about now, and I don't want to get into politics, but like California is the worst. You could do whatever the fuck you want over there, you know? So, I mean, you know, 10 kilos back in the day, they didn't even want it. But because it was a mob case and bosses called bosses, we went and me and Brizzle Airy, the guy I mentioned, we went and we bought off a couple of guys, and that was a funny story too. You know, that all came back to the OJ thing, which has been in a lot of articles that, you know, when OJ was actually driving that fucking Bronco, he was talking to Cowens, and Al Cowens called our informant because he was out, saying, how does he get out of town? You know what I mean? So a lot was spoken while he was in that Bronco, OJ. And what ended up happening was the ADA in California didn't want to use our informant. They probably thought they had enough, and like maybe he would ruin the case. But as it turns out, you know what I mean. You saw what happened. But that particular case, see, and I'm going to say it because they called OJ the snowman. Okay, because not my informant, but our informant, DEA's informant, was giving him coke. He was a big cokehead, and then in return, see, Joey Eppolito had a guy. His name was Charlie Tuna. He would run his business, and Charlie Tuna. There's a lot of Charlie Tuna. So again, but this one I remember. But he would actually go and give OJ shit on the arm. But OJ would then hook these guys up with legit customers that would want kilos in Hollywood and stuff, you know. And that's how I believe that whole thing started with OJ, you know, killing Nicole. because she was good friends with Faye Resnick. And what had ended up happening was this guy, Charlie, I think, was there that day. And he was starting shit with OJ, getting them all revved up about, hey, your girl is with this Resnick girl. They're cokeheads. They were in Mexico with some guys doing coke. And, you know, I'm just saying maybe that put him in a rage. And you know what I mean? Because then he wrote a book that if I did, you know what I mean, if I did kill her. I believe he did. But, you know, I think this also had a play in it. You know, the drugs was a big play because, I mean, to kill somebody like that, I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I couldn't hurt a fucking squirrel. I mean, if they were coming after my family, I'm going to take care of my family. But, I mean, that was a gruesome murder. So there had to be something behind that. You know what I mean? The way he was enraged. So.
Well, I heard that 2 years after that murder, the restaurant, Mezzaluna, was closed down because of they're selling fucking keys out of that.
Yeah. I mean, I know the informant that I'm talking about, Joe, he owned 2 restaurants there, and that might have been the one. It might. I'm telling you, and I think you're right.
That's where they were.
But he didn't even give a fuck about that. Like Joey, and I knew Joey, you know, well, and, you know, from just meeting with him and stuff, but in regards to, he didn't even give a fuck about his restaurant. Like, he'd have a million of these Hollywood people come in. He didn't even want to talk to him. Cause he was good like that, you know. It was nothing to him, and that's why he said fuck it. He sold that restaurant, but you know what? He ended up getting into, you know, problems. He had to face the music, right? Because he was looking to do 15 to 18 years. He fucking escaped out of jail. That's another thing, and he went back in. But then he decided to cooperate. And you know what? I like the guy, man. I mean, I spoke to him a lot. And he was, you know, even though he did what he did, I mean, he was a nice guy. And I just talked to my partner the other day, and he loved him too. Not in a way like I love, but he was a good guy. But like he said before, and he died at home, and he was able to come home 3 years. We got him out earlier, and he called my partner Brizzolari right before he died, and he thanked him. You know, like, thank you so much for giving me, you know, the time that I could spend with my family, because he had cancer, and he ended up dying, and that was more or less could have been the last person he spoke to, you know. So again, you know, I mean, these are people. Some of them are real cruel, some of them are real bad, and you know the difference. I mean, I'm sure we all know the difference, but some of them are not bad. You know, they just get caught out there doing their thing, you know. So.
Hey. It's March. I got to talk about some stuff about DraftKings and some other people.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We're going to take a 5-minute breather and we'll be back, Jack. Hey, Uncle Joey here. Listen, everybody's looking for crazy rewards. And if that's what you're looking for, DraftKings Casino is the right place. They got huge jackpots, weekly bonuses, and exclusive games. It's time to get on the action. What have you been doing all your life? Listen, I love DraftKings Casino. Why? Because I can do it anywhere. At the dentist office, in the bathroom, on a trip. Bing, bang, boom, I got my favorite game. I'm entering into my pool. I'm entering into my points. And voila, the excitement is only getting started. Because right now, new players, you ready for this? $5. And I'm going to get you 500 casino spins on a featured game. Say that again, Joey. Yep. $5, new players, don't come back at me. New players, $5, 500 casino spins on a featured game. Just sign up with code Joey Slots, JOEYSLOTS. Again, JOEYSLOTS. And wager a minimum of a fin, $5, 5 pesos, and receive 500 casino spins on a featured casino game. Who's better than you? Nobody. DraftKings, only the most rewarding place to play. DraftKings Casino, where the crown is yours. You're walking in there with a cigar, taking your Johnny Bananas, and it's you in your living room. You know what I'm saying? That's where your mind goes. DraftKings Casino.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 and over. Physically present in Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Connecticut and Ontario. Eligibility restrictions apply. New customers only. Non-withdrawable casino spins valid for featured game only and expire in 168 hours. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends 4/27/25 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, Uncle Joey here again. This episode is also brought to you by the best nicotine pouches out there. Nicked. They use the best ingredients and give you the best experience. These pouches are made with natural coconut fibers that won't cut up your gums. They have a bunch of different flavors and different strengths, so you can mix and match. These two are my favorite right here. Strawberry watermelon is tremendous, and lemon twist, I can't see without my glasses. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all their flavors are delicious. These two are my favorites. Check this out. Nick is launching a new 0 milligram option soon, helping you gradually reduce your nicotine usage at your own pace. Whether you're trying to kick chewing tobacco, traditional smoking products, or vape, Nick flavors just hit right. Listen, it's time to upgrade to Nick nicotine pouches, just like I did. Right now, church listeners, you're going to get 35% off when you order through our exclusive link at nykdpouches.com/church, CHURCH. And you can use this code up to 3 times. Who's better than Uncle Joey? Nobody. So don't wait. Get 35% off right now on nykdpouches.com/church and check out the new church bundle with some of Uncle Joey's favorite flavors. That's nykdpouches.com/church, nickedpouches.com/church. Nicked products are only for adults of legal age. So you're too young, take a hike, go drink a cup of tea. And every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical, okay? Uncle Joey loves you. Thank you for supporting our show, and thank you guys at home for watching. All right, we're back, Jack. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning, wherever the fuck you are. Anyway, my man's still here. Myron, I want to ask him some questions about the Mexicans. Before I ask you a question, Myron, just to be honest with you, I'm a big book guy. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing I hated more than reading a book and 6 years later finding out they turned the book into a movie. And you go there with your dick hard and it's completely different from what you read.
Yeah.
All of a sudden there's a sister involved and she's dating the midget in the basement.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
you're like, where the fuck did I come from? There's only 2 books I stand behind. Silence of the Lambs is just the way it is on book, as it is in the movie.
Great movie.
And there's another one. God damn it, it was just Sleepers.
Oh, Sleepers. I didn't see that.
Sleepers.
Silence of the Lambs was a good one.
Sleepers. But those 2 books, everything else I watch, I know where I just came from. I know people's story. And next thing you know, they rewrite it. You're fucking pissed, but they throw you another $1 million to shut your fucking mouth.
Of course.
Because if not, you're not going to have dick, okay? You told that little mistress you're going to be in Hawaii with fireworks and a pineapple. That's over. That's over. So now you go, okay, add my sister and make my mother black. It doesn't make a difference anymore. And that's it. And you don't know it until he goes on a show 15 years from now. Yeah. And says, did you know my mother was white? They wanted me to do that for the script, okay? So when I watch Narcos and shit, I know it's 50-60, 40-60, I'm sorry. It's 40% correct and 60% made up for your imagination. Right. You know, I understand. But when I first saw the first season of Narcos...
Was that with Pablo?
Yeah.
Pablo,
I dove into reading. Right. I didn't watch the other stupid shit on Netflix. There's 82 shows. Netflix should just be the Pablo station. Look at it. Look at it.
To be honest with you, I watched all 82.
No, you didn't.
Just
horrible.
Recently,
Horrible.
You can tell I live a fucking boring life.
No, man, but don't get into that shit. It's just the same fucking Puerto Ricans over and over.
Yeah, it's hard to follow it too, man. You know what I mean?
It's hard. You don't know. The best 2 that I recommend is, I love Narcos until the last season. He shifted over to The Godfather of Harlem and shit the bed completely. They just got a bunch of fucking people jumping up and down. The last season is god-awful. God-awful. Because I'm telling you, as a fucking fan, you know what happens.
It peters out, man. You know what I mean? After a while. I mean,
Doesn't
it's
peter
redundant.
out. The writers get deals somewhere else. So now it's me, you, and him. We wrote it.
Yeah.
We wrote the first 9 episodes with Pablo, and we got fucking 9 more in the can. Yeah. They're going to sign us up. All of a sudden, you got a weird bug up your ass. Yeah. I want to be on, one of those fucking Lifetime shows. Yeah. Really? Really? We just fucking wrote something tremendous. They're going to double my pay, and I got 3 kids in college, Joey. Yeah. But there goes the original Jackson 5. Now we bring in 2 other guys. They don't know what the fuck. They just came from a fucking soap opera. Yeah. We're here trying to write about people getting mugged and gangsters, Lee.
Yes.
It's going to be all right. You want an Alka-Seltzer?
I do. I need
it's
one.
good.
What's
you
the
want
matter,
some?
bro? You sick?
I got a little sniffle. I'm good. But
right.
So I read about it. I really read about it.
Yeah.
And the other show I really like is Hota Hota.
I never
Have you
saw
ever seen that show?
What's it called?
Hota Hota.
No, but I saw. What's a good one if you're talking about drugs? Because that's what I'm here for, the drugs. But the Griselda was pretty good.
Yeah, Griselda Blanco.
Yeah,
I think that
Griselda.
was,
You know what? That's actually DEA locked her up at the end.
wasn't that the guy from Miami?
But that was also tremendous bullshit. First of all, if the show was going to be real, you had to get somebody look like me to play Griselda.
Well, you know what?
That woman was ugly as dog shit.
No shit, bro. You're right. I mean, in real life,
That
when
was
you saw,
terrible.
I
I love that girl. I love her. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I love all her work. But that fucked up nose, she looked like a Pink Panther when he played the fucking Italian
He's
guy.
right though, man. Because honestly,
No, come
in real
on.
life, she was a dog. But they
No,
had
nobody
Sophia,
did her.
Yeah.
You did her with a blindfold on, dog. You're crazy.
But she had strength, man. She was legit. I mean, to be honest with you, they really were scared of her. She ran a fucking great organization. I mean, I wasn't around for those cases because DEA again did that. I know they picked her up at the end, but they were looking at her. She was doing shit in the Bronx, but she was legit, man. She made a lot of money. I mean, that's when, like you said, when the times were roaring in the '80s with Miami. That's when everything came out with Miami Vice, the Go Fast boats. You know what I mean? They were sending shit in planes and just dropping them in the water. I mean, there was so much money to be made.
I've never. There's only 2 changes that I ever saw that were dramatic. Mm-hmm. Before I get into it here with you,
Yeah, I'm gonna
there was
grab a
2
little.
changes. You came from Woodbridge.
Woodbridge, yeah, not Woodbridge, yeah, Bridge.
So you saw changes when you were in high school, and especially if you went outside of Woodbridge. We were raised in this fucking neighborhood,
Right.
with your wife. So we saw, and all I remember is this: we were spending $4 a night. We would do a hit of acid, split a hit of acid, and get a 6-pack from Nick's or whatever.
Yeah.
Not Nick's. That's a pizza
Nips.
joint. The liquor store in the corner
Nips.
or something like that. And then, okay, everybody got cooler. We started eating Quaaludes. Now your night went from $4 to $4. And you drank two drinks if somebody served you, and you were good to go. Then out of nowhere, people started going, "Psst, come here. Come in the bathroom. Try this Coke." And you're like, "I'm over here at Joe and Mary's on Burger Line Avenue. What am I? This ain't no discotheque." And you started, and all of a sudden everybody was cool. Everybody was doing a package between 4 people. Nobody was ODing. Nobody was jumping up and down. At 2 o'clock, people were like, "Good night, good night." There was no drama. I leave for Colorado. I come back. Oh my fucking God! People went from going home at 2 to going home the next day.
Yeah.
Like people started going out on Friday nights and not going home till Sunday afternoon at 5. Just in time for Mom's meatballs. Like nothing happened. "What's up, Mom? Where you been?" "Dog, I got to tell you what happened. I went to a concert. What happened? What happened to your head?" It was always something. And then it just went for people going out on Mondays and staying out till Thursday. And all those Tunley Avenue hotels, my friends would rent 4 fucking rooms.
Wow.
From one side to the other. The end was a jacuzzi room, and they would just go in there. From Monday, I was like, the growth of this shit.
Yeah.
When I left here, you had to really look for cocaine.
Yeah.
You had to go into the city. You had to know a cousin in Union City, something. When I came back, just on 82nd Street, there was 3 coke dealers now.
Yeah.
All you had to do is walk on Smith Avenue and, "Hey, did I tell you I got some coke? If you could move it for me." You're like, "Dog, you went to Catholic school. I knew you as a kid. You never even had a beer. Now you're dealing coke." So the explosion.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a money game. All of it. It all goes. It's all cyclical. Look how long. I mean, Coke is making a comeback. You know what I mean? And
It
crack.
never went away.
Yeah. No, I know.
It
But
never went away.
no,
What
I know.
fucking
But I mean,
comeback?
everybody, come on. All these kids with the fentanyl and the heroin and stuff like that. I mean, that's been big, and that's why we're losing. All these kids to really the fentanyl. Which. It's a shame because some of these kids might try it one time and it's just unlucky, and you get a couple of little pieces of fentanyl on you, and if it's the bad type, you're gonna die. And we changed all our rules too with the fentanyl. Once I left and stuff, we had a whole new lab area where if you did think that you got something related to it, you would have to have special gloves on. It'd be a special room, with all kind of special filtration systems in there. So the game has changed, but it's horrible how these young kids today in their 20s, even older people, are still doing this stuff, and it's sad. It really is truly sad because life is precious.
Myron, it's never fucking changed.
Yeah.
Since 1980.
Yeah.
This has been a revolving door. I'm very fortunate to still be here.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going over to Harlem. I enjoyed it. It was just it was who I was for a long time. But listen, when we were growing up, people were dying too.
Yeah.
They were fucking going into the city, whatever. And now I wouldn't try anything out in the street. Not even, dog, when I left California, you could already tell there was an issue at a marijuana dispensary where when you ate this guy's cookies, you didn't get high. You saw fucking Pluto. And for me to see Pluto, there's got to be something in that cookie.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Then there was
I
a
need
rule-
one of them cookies now.
No.
Put
Oh,
me to sleep. Like
I ate one of those cookies on a flight to Pittsburgh. My leg wouldn't stop twitching.
Oh.
I was sweating profusely, and my leg it was horrible. Anyway,
yeah.
fuck that edible.
No.
So what I'm saying to you is that they're putting edible out of that in Mexico.
Yeah.
Because you could. God bless New Jersey. A lot of people are going to hate me for this. Because I came here and I was withdrawn on Xanax. And I thought I was going to walk into a doctor and
And
go,
get a
hey,
script, yeah.
let me get a script. The guy's like,
No, they don't prescribe that shit.
we
man.
don't give you that shit at all here. And then I had the knee surgery. And it was tough to get pain pills. Like, tough. Like, come on. I just had to. Well, we don't know. We got to contact the doctor. And he's got to contact CVS. And CVS has to call DC and see if you're on the list. And you're like, what the fuck? And then somebody told me that next time get surgery and go to Staten Island because they just go nuts out there.
Yeah,
They don't give you 28 pills. They give you 90 still.
Yeah,
Bam!
we had a group that actually just dealt with that. It was called our diversion group. So
Yeah.
if you get a script, that third copy, I believe it's pink, that goes to the DEA, and they can tell by and not that I did, I wasn't in this group, but the pharmacists, the doctors, they were locking them up left and right because, and the pharmacists, they were getting like $500,000 cash out of their fucking apartments because that's how lucrative the business was with like you said, whether it be oxys, whether it be Xanax or Dilaudid, all these things. So it's a big business.
Well, I saw some documentaries that like people who got addicted to the pills would switch to heroin because it was cheaper, which is
it's
crazy
true.
to me.
No, it is cheaper. It is.
That heroin is cheaper than a pill.
Of
Remember
course.
remember when we did heroin, Lee?
I don't know if we did heroin. When did we do heroin?
Don't worry. I got the date. I got the episode.
I can't. I can't see him doing heroin.
No, I did. I
It's
did more
just-
than you would think. But
Just
Let me-
his little marijuana joint, man.
let me ask you this, because I just moved to New York in September, and I had one guy ask me if I wanted party supplies, but other than that, that's it.
What, like paper plates and fucking?
Who knows?
and fucking, yeah.
But like, how much on a daily basis?
Yeah.
How much shit is going on in like plain sight in New York?
I mean, it doesn't even have to be New York. It's all over. I mean, like you said, I mean, even with the marijuana, the dispensaries, I mean, I got places in town where I live. You go in there and get what you want. The other stuff, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I haven't been in a big city since I've been retired. I hate to say that. I have no interest in going back to New York, man. And again, that's just me because, to be honest with you, man, I had enough of it. You know, I'm living in a small town now, and you know, by the beach somewhere, and it gets boring. But you know, some of these big cities and the people around them, whether they're doing drugs or it's something else, they're fucking nuts. People are nuts today. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, there's different cultures out there, right? They're coming from different countries. You see what's going on. I mean, actually, a guy I work with who's now in the head of the DEA, and I'll mention his name, Derek Maltz. You know, he's on TV all the time, and he's out there in Colorado sending all these guys back to Venezuela and doing all these cases and stuff, you know. But, I mean, I'll be honest with you, those are some dangerous people. I mean, you know, we could laugh in here and be like, you know, but they'll do whatever, you know. They'll do whatever, these people, because they don't give a fuck, you know? Yeah.
How we get to the fucking Venezuelans?
I don't know. I don't know how we got there. Because what they're doing is they had that one gang from Venezuela. Now, that was causing, you know, they want to start shipping these guys out, obviously. You know, right. We got a new guy in there, Trump, and he's saying, hey, you know, you got to be legal to be here. And they're going after the people they're causing, you know, havoc, that are dealing drugs, that have records and stuff. And they're easy to find, you know what I mean? Because they let you know where they're at. They're that dumb, you know? So.
But it's crazy how the Pablo Escobar stuff was good to me.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it as entertainment. The one that really got to me was when the Mexicans started selling the weed, and then in the middle they go, "Fuck you, let's put some cocaine in
I know
this bitch."
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I went and read up on the people, and you know, I was blown the fuck away with the money they were making, and they got into, and they made a big mistake when they killed, rest in peace.
Yeah, our guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Kiki Camarena.
Kiki Camarena. That's a matter of fact. Recently, he was just in the news. You know,
right, 2 weeks ago. Something.
What had ended up happening was they got one of his torturers, and again, the name escapes me.
Miguel. Miguel.
And when they brought him to arraignments, you know, they put Kiki Camarini's cuffs on him, which, you know, I mean, you know, okay, you know what I mean. It's sad that we lost the agent. It was a while ago, but. They got him, you know what I mean? And that was a great thing. And it, you know, at least gives the people, you know, from DEA anyway to say, hey, listen, we got you guys. And Kiki's cuffs are on you. And now you're going to do your time, probably rot in jail, you know, which is a good thing. But Mexico's a whole nother story, man. You know, like Mexico, you know, like they kicked us out of the country for like a year or so because, I mean, it's so crooked. You know, even like when I used to, back in the day, go to Cancun, Acapulco, I did a lot of fucked up things when I went on vacation, you know what I mean? I mean, Johnny's over here too. I mean, he remembers a couple of stories we did. But I tell you, man, you go out there. I remember I went to this place, they said, I was all fucked up, you know, drinking beers all night. I was with a guy by the name of Pete. Make a long story short, I go, I want to go to like a go-go joint, you know? I was sick of seeing all these young kids, whatever. I was only 24. And I get in a taxi, and they go, Chili Willy's, you know what I mean? And I go, yeah, let's go to fucking Chili Willy's, you know? I get into a taxi, me and Pete, and I'm bombed, man, and I'm drinking beer in the taxi, and I'm whipping beer bottles out of the fucking taxi. That was stupid, you know? We ended up getting a Chili Willy's. I go to the front door, and there's two fucking big Mexican guys, but they were carrying machine guns, and they had the fucking bandolier, you know, the bullets all over here. I looked at Pete, and, you know, I kind of sobered up a little bit, and I'm like, hey, you want to go in here? Fuck it, we're here. We go in. It was the nastiest fucking bar. They had girls up there. They were nastier than that girl, Griselda, you know what I mean? Griselda face and shit. And I remember I had to take a shit so bad because I was drinking that Mexican beer. I went in the bathroom, and there was no like doors or anything, you know, just a fucking like, I don't know, something you shit in. I don't even know what you call it. I fucking just lowered my ass over the bowl. You know what I mean? I let it explode because I don't even think there was toilet paper there. I don't know what the fuck I did. But I know when I got out of that fucking bathroom, I says, Pete, he goes, what? It's time to fucking go. You know what I mean? And I look back at that day and I say to myself, man, that was stupid. Because normally what the cops will do, they see younger kids and whatnot. And it happened to some of my family members. They'll pull you over and they'll want whatever's in your pocket, $300, $400, $500, you know. Getting back to it, they don't make no money there. You know that. And that's why they don't make no money. That's why they were all crooked. You know, even during, you know, with Pablo, he bought whatever he wanted to buy. He owned it. He was the man. He owned everything. You saw the movie. That's legit.
No, but I read up on that.
No, but
shit.
some of the shit they showed in the movie was a little like I'll even say so. Like with the DEA guys, they weren't doing all that shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No,
you know what I mean? I mean, but they were there and they did a very good job.
I forget what the bottom line was.
Yeah.
The bottom line was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It was an amount that you could not even fathom coming into your home every fucking week. And the more money he made, the more he paid out. He took care. He did what the fuck he wanted to. I remember I was reading something online about him one night that I was just blown the fuck away.
Yeah.
Just the thing that he built his own prison.
Oh, that happened, man.
That
That's
happened.
legit.
I was just starting comedy in '91, and I remember it would come up on the news that they're building the prison for this fucking guy. And I remember like even writing a joke. I didn't even know who the fucking guy was. I wrote like some
Pablo was
stupid
big.
joke and bombed. Yeah, like he opened up a hotel,
Yeah.
and it was funny because Boulder, where I was, the county jail was voted the #2 county jail in the country. It was clean, sanitized.
Yeah.
They gave you cigarettes. They had cable TV.
Wasn't like Chili Willy's, man.
No,
No,
it
that
was
was a
not like
hole,
Chili
man. I still
Willy's.
remember that.
But I'm going to tell you just in perspective, I'm a fucking nut, okay? And when you add an addiction to a nut, it's never good. And I'm going to be honest with you motherfuckers, and you can either believe me or not. I worked El Paso as a comic. The first night they came to me and they said, we're going to Mexico. You coming? I was a little apprehensive. And I went in the daytime,
Yeah.
and that was enough for me.
Yeah.
And then I worked San Diego one time, and I went to that side of Mexico, and that was okay for about an hour at night. And I'm like, it's time to go.
Yeah,
and I like
man.
crazy shit. I'm all in. I'm all in for yells in the night and people screaming, but that was just a little too out there for Uncle Joey. And I just came home, and then I went back down there with my wife when we were dating. A bunch of people were going to go down to Mexico. We got lost, dog. It was the worst. It cost me like $2,000 to get out of there in fucking nickels, because that's all I had. Every Mexican had nickels. I was giving out nickels like fucking, I swear to God, I just had an ashtray and the center thing, and it was all like nickels and dimes because they don't work on the fucking
And the
things
kids
in LA.
would shake you down too.
Yeah,
over
the
there.
kids shake
you
you
come out of
down.
it and they go chicle it.
Yep,
And they
chicle.
start like going like this, like they're trying to get your fucking wallet. So you got to honestly, you got to like you got to backhand them, man.
Steroids.
Yeah.
And I'm
Well, you
like,
get whatever you want at the
and I'm like,
pharmacy.
even if I buy this, how am I going to get over? That's my biggest thing. I'm not a fucking smuggler. I've never been a smuggler. I don't mind. You give me an ounce of weed, I'll take it to Jersey. That's for me. I'd rather get caught than have to be out in the street in some fucking stupid weed store. Let them roll the turbines. Go fuck yourself. It's 22%. It smells like my dog shit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry.
That's all right, man. No, it's-
But anyway,
yeah. So
you
you're
know.
talking about Mexico. You're talking about Pablo, right?
I'm talking more about Mexico, how
Yeah.
they did it,
Yeah.
how they, went to the Colombians and said, we're going to be your transport.
Yeah.
They pretty much locked them out. It was, it was fucking brilliant. Like when
Yeah.
you look at these guys, it's a shame they became criminals.
Well, because they were in the right business to make the money, but sooner or later they were going to get caught. If they spent that energy on a fucking legit business, even to keep it to weed, you know what I mean, it wouldn't have been a problem. But getting back to Mexico again, I was a senior partner too, and I'm going to bring up another name because, he deserves it, Pete Gudowitz. He's the one that indicted El Chapo. So I was his senior partner. If you see when he comes off the plane, you'll see like two DEA guys. The taller one with the glasses is Pete. And he worked hard on that case, and that was a rough case because a lot of people had him indicted, but they always bring these people to the big house. The big house would be to New York, so they gave they arraigned him in New York. You know what I mean? So, but there was another guy. You know what I mean? El Chapo, and
That dude was like a fucking magician.
yeah,
Was he not? He was getting out of prisons with a suit on and shit.
yeah.
Like, what happened to El Chapo? We don't sorry.
Yeah, they were
Nobody
building
knew
tunnels.
nothing,
He
huh?
was the tunnel
Building
guy.
tunnels. But I did read something. This motherfucker was buying up land
Yeah,
and digging tunnels underneath from the U.S. side to the Mexico side
Well, he thought about that. That was unbelievable because
all this shit is like,
yeah.
you know, you're like, all right, I'll eat a bunch of pellets and shove the rest up my ass. Meanwhile,
Those are
this guy's
horrible,
buying a house from the other house, and it's like they dug underneath where they put roller skates on it with a fucking thing that you push. Hasta la bueno, and they push it.
Yeah.
And it gets to the other side, and that's it. You know, who thinks it was simplicity?
Well, how the fuck could you even think about a tunnel and the way they built it, even to get him out without? Well, I mean, the thing about it is they were making a lot of noise for the prison, so they were all paid off. I
Right,
mean, you
no,
can't tell me that they ain't hearing like fucking people blowing, you know, or even picking shit out. I mean,
Come on.
you know, so yeah, but you know, getting back to what you're saying, like how the Mexicans with the Colombians. I mean, back in the day when I first came on in the '80s and stuff, it was the Colombians. You know, especially in New York. You know what I mean? And that's where I was doing my stuff. But the Mexicans are a lot more powerful in regards to. I got to say, they got bigger conas, they got bigger balls. You know what I mean? So if you fucked up with the Mexicans, honestly, they were really they tortured people. Like you know. They were ruthless. You know what I mean? You had some Colombians like that, but a lot of times the Colombians would be little, no disrespect, little motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And they got their business suits on. You know what we used to do to the Colombians back in the day when I first came on? We would go to Queens, right? And they would have all payphones, and we would know what payphones they used because they had so much fucking money from Pablo and stuff. You know what I mean? And we would know they would be carrying a suitcase, so we would just randomly go up there, take their fucking suitcase, and what's in that suitcase? $2-3 million, and you know what? Once you took it from them, they just fucking ran. We let them go. You know what I mean? We just take the money, and again, it goes into a big kitty for the Department of Justice and stuff. And I never did anything fucked up. Like there are guys that did do that, but you know what I mean. And they got a lot of them got caught. But there was a lot of money, and the problem with drugs is, what do I do with this money? Where does it go? Because you guys like us and shit, I don't know what people make here or whatever, but you got a couple of dollars, you feel good about yourself. Imagine having enough money to fill up fucking 3 of these fucking places here. What are you going to do with it? What do you do with the money? You don't even know where to put it. That's why, I mean, even now, they have the Chinese laundering their money. And what the Chinese do, and you can see it, is they've been buying up a lot of real estate. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because think about us going to China and getting real estate and buying a house or something. It ain't happening. You ain't coming to China. But yet, politically here, we let everybody come here, unvetted. They come in and they're buying places with this illegal money. And
they're growing weed, brother.
Yeah.
They're buying farms.
Yeah, they're growing by
and
military.
Growing fucking weed. Like,
Yeah.
they got it down
this
to
is
a
happening.
science.
Yeah.
And nobody gives a fuck, so I'm not smoking weed no more, so you know me, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not smoking that commie weed. I like Chinese people, I'm cool, but
Yeah. I like the lunch specials, man.
it's really like that dude that they just brought back. He was one of the leaders. That's the dude that was in charge, and it's so weird looking back at it. And this was 30 years ago. This is like, you look at this shit, you go, wow. I kind of remember this. Like, I remember the bust in Stockton. That big bust in Stockton, I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
And me going, somebody's getting backhanded right now.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking coke in that warehouse. you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to think about it like this, though. And I'll tell you, you got to remember all these products, whether it be heroin, coke, marijuana, they're all plants. So we had groups back in the day, back in the 80s, we called them Operation Snowcap. Matter of fact, we lost some guys come out of a helicopter and whatnot, and they're plants. So what happens when you fucking exterminate them? They just grow more. You know what I mean? So it's like you really can never stop it because you remember they're plants, right? I mean, you just got to find a location and whether it be coke, right? Coca paste and, however way they make it and the heroin. I mean, there's all kind of heroin, but it's always gonna be there, like you said. Like you were saying about it's going on, it went on back then too. Yeah, it did, because they're plants. They're always going to be available, and you're going to always make money. You're always going to make money on them, right? You're gonna, because we have a society that really wants this stuff. Like even alcohol, you know what I mean? I know I'm getting off tangent here a little bit, but it's the same thing. People get addicted. There's addictions, and sometimes it's hard to break,
I remember Lee asked a question before, and I'm going to answer it. Lee, one of the main reasons I left this area was because, how far are you from New York City right now?
10, 15 minutes.
I was 15 minutes away from any drug I wanted to buy. At whatever time you wanted to buy it. If you want something at 3 in the morning, you'll find it in New York City. You have to walk a few blocks. You might get mugged, but you'll find it.
That's great.
And it's, and that's the scary thing to me. That in those days, from keep going over there, you bump into more and more people. Who are you going to bump into in New York City at 3:30 in the morning? You're going to bump into a stockbroker or a fucking army recruiter?
No.
You're bumping into people trying to fucking scam people.
Yeah.
And now you're talking to people like, hey, dog, if you ever need a 45 or any guns, I got you. I'm 19 years old, and you're asking me if I want to buy a fucking gun. Now, that sits in the back of your mind. If I ever get into a beef, I'll be over the bridge getting a gun for $1.25, whatever the fuck, whatever the fuck it is. That's how accessible that city was. I can't imagine what it is today. I gotta guarantee that there's not as many spots as there were when I was growing up, but there's gotta be something happening in Washington Heights.
Oh, yeah.
And
but
there's gotta be something happening in the Bronx and all the other things. It's not as visible,
Right.
but the scary thing is downtown. Because downtown, I know a guy named Tonio. That's what he tells me his name is. He tells me to send me his driver's license as long as that's his address. From now on, I'm your delivery guy. Call me 24 hours a day. Something will be there in a half hour. I will send you a menu every day. You will not look at the prices. You're already paying $4,000 a month for rent.
Right.
You're already going dead anyway. You might as well pay the prices. He's going to have an 8-ball of Coke for you there. In 1 hour, the best shit you ever bought. That's the business. That's what I assume.
Right.
That's what I'm assuming, that there's got to be an app now. I ain't that fucking, I'm an old man, but I'm just thinking about some Chinese kid in the city that loves to jump up and down with the lights and all that stuff.
Right.
He's got an app somewhere that you buzz. This guy gets buzzed here, and every day the code changes. That's how slick these kids are today. Don't tell me.
The kids are so slick. I mean,
Slick.
But even, and it still goes on in the Heights. I mean, I remember when we first started doing the Heights, and it was just easy. We had a lot of informants there. Make a long story short, man, they had the kids working on the corners with walkie-talkies. So as soon as you came on the fucking block, they know you're 5-0. They know you're whatever. So what we used to do is get like maybe a Spanish guy. I'd be in the back of a van. He'd park the fucking van. The van might say like painting or plumber or whatever. And I'd sit in the back of the van like they wouldn't think anyone's in there. So then you could take pictures and see what's what. But the kids, even at the ages of 11, 10, you know what I mean? In the stash houses, I mean, we had special guys that used to basically know how to infiltrate any kind of special trap they might have, because it was like really fucked up, really crazy traps that these guys think of. I mean, unbelievable. You know what I mean?
I was there the summer of '93 when there were kids on the roof and a cop was walking, uniform cop, and they dropped a bucket of spackle on him.
Oh, yeah.
I'll never forget that, and I remember it was tight. But it's interesting. In 1993, I used to go to a place, I mean, it was like stealing. You just had to get over the bridge. And you made a left, and you went right in that place, and you double parked your car. Cops would even go right past you.
Yeah.
Beep, beep. And you parked. Somebody went into the building. You rang the bell, 503, come on up. You went on up there, and there was a guy sitting there with a gun and a bag of blow. 2 bags of blow.
Yeah.
One was for 25 a gram, and one was for 35 a gram. He gave you a taste of it, and you had to make your choice. If you busted them, that's all they had on them was 2 ounces, maybe a little less at that point. They're going to be out in an hour, these guys. They already had it down to a science. Now I see these weed stores that open up in L.A., and they put their whole inventory on the wall. When the feds show up, they lose everything. And I'm like, those Colombians had a point. They only showed you what you needed to see.
Right.
You need that? Give me 10 minutes. And they make a call, and it's around the corner, hidden in somebody's fucking Corvette or whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, it's difficult even for us. It was in regards to trying to find, where the stuff is. First off, everyone's a bullshitter. I mean, like I got the money. Nobody had the fucking money. You want to see the dope first. You know what I mean? Whether it be coke, heroin, or whatever. And that's the games we would play. I mean, sometimes we would flash them. I actually was giving the guy 40,000, but sometimes we would have like flash rolls. But really, like cops only flash money. You know what I mean? That's what I always say. Like, for instance, a cop will show you money, like to think he's legit. But the real fucking bad guys, if you're good, you get the shit on the arm. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, like, if you got juice, you're going to give me 10 kilos, you're going to trust me. So, I mean.
Just like that.
Well, yeah, because it's not a lot of people trust anybody. I mean, even today or back in the day, I mean, I'm talking 10, 15, 20 years ago. Yeah, it was hard to do these cases. You really had to have good people that infiltrated these organizations, whether it be the Heights, whether it be the mob guys, whether it be the Mexicans. I mean, you had to have like serious guys that had connections, you know what I mean? You just can't go in there and, do whatever the fuck you want to do. No, it doesn't work like that. The people don't trust people, but money does talk. What's the old saying? Money talks, bullshit walks, man. Like I said, when I was giving them the 40 G's and it went the first time, they were like, fuck, this guy ain't no cop. And I did it 2 more times, 3 more times, right? And he ain't no cop. Until the end when motherfucker's a cop, Not only that.
You don't even figure it out so that you got the handcuffs on. And once they put you in that cell, not on the drive, but in that cell to wait your arraignment or whatever the fuck you're waiting on, you just sit there like, God damn it, I never figured it out, that motherfucker. You start thinking about shit, where you fucked up. But you were too high. You were too caught up in what you were doing. You got caught up in walking into the club and there's VIP. You just get caught up.
Yeah.
And you make dumb mistakes. I did it. That's all that happens.
Everybody does. I mean, even the best guys. I mean, we, like I says, in regards to what we locked up, people, you wait. It's like a stock, you're waiting on this fucker. You buy whatever. You buy, I don't know, Tesla and shit. You want to buy low, sell. You got to hold it. You got to wait. You got to have patience. And people fuck up. When you're on wire, sometimes you might have to be on a wire 3, 4, 5 months before they make one fuck up. That one fuck up will put you on another line, and then you're going, bro. And then you got a talker. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're like, holy fuck, you're meeting with the attorneys, you know what I mean? Oh, we got this amount. We're going to lock up this. We're going to seize this. We're going to take that. The game is patience, too. But everybody makes mistakes. So, I mean, in the end, like he says, people can go 15, 20 years. They got all the money in the world. And then that one day comes and you're fucked. It's like these guys now you're talking about. I mean, I know El Chapo, you know what I mean? He's done. You know what I mean? His family's done. I think his son tried to come into the business. He's done now. His wife, it's new people come on the block.
Just like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all done. You're done. You know what I mean? You had your ride. And it's over.
Didn't El Chapo get caught because he did an interview for a movie, about him? It was like something stupid.
He got caught because, there was a movie like that, but that was
Sean Penn.
Yeah, I thought, but that's whenever I watch a movie like that or hear about something like that, to think about someone building a case against you and you have no idea. For months or years, and they're building a case, and you just are going about your life as normal.
They weren't even building a case. They already had him by the balls. They were just finding that.
Well, just anybody, just like any.
They were
criminal.
just finding that motherfucker.
You know what it was. Not only it was find him, but the other thing too is do they want to give him up? Do they want to extradite him? That's the whole game. When we were playing, when we were trying to play nice with the Mexican government and stuff like that, they'll give you some things, but then they won't give you everything. Like I said, it all goes back to money. Life always goes back to money. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. These guys are making so much money off these guys. Even if you're a top politician in Mexico, you get this guy's giving you $5-6 million. You're going to listen to some American DEA guy or some, you know what I mean, I don't know, cabinet member.
Who Lee Sayat is? Never heard of it.
No.
No, sorry. Anybody Lee Sayat? No. No. Trae Colombia. Bye.
Right.
They don't know nothing down there. That's why, listen, I don't have a passport. And there's times when I'm still living in L.A., people go, I get you in. And I'm like, not in a million.
Yeah.
I ain't going in there undocumented. There's no fucking way. They do some nasty shit down there. Yeah, it's cute. You get great burritos. I'm okay. I'm good. I just didn't trust it.
Yeah.
There was something about Mexico. And, dog, I was a coke fiend and didn't trust it. There's no reason to go to Mexico and get coke. Snort it, they're going to rob you. And what, are you going to bring it over that fucking bridge? Now you're going to do 55 years. Just to go. No, leave me alone. I can find it in San Diego.
How frustrating is it from like your point of like the agents, like the politics of it? Like someone gets away because of like a mistake or like, you know, like just the politics of it. Does it piss you guys off?
The politics plays a big part. It actually played a bigger part with the, and I have a lot of friends that are first grade detectives that are retired now, but the reason why they retired, probably like when I retired, is, you know, when you start locking up people and, for instance, they got 2 guns on them and then the ADA is letting them out fucking like a week later. You know, that's what hurts. You know what I mean? Because then, you know, like drugs is one thing and that kills people, but you know, guns, I mean, come on, man, you know what I mean? And you see what happens when these kids or guys go back on the street. They're doing harm. And you know what? It frustrates you, you know what I mean? Because you could take the fact that, you know, okay, I was going after this drug deal, I didn't get him. There's a lot of guys I didn't get, our group didn't get, but, you know, eventually somebody will get them. But a lot of the times they weren't really hurting anybody. There's certain ethnicities, I hate to say, but like, you know, that really will hurt you. Like the Mexicans will hurt you. You know what I mean? The Jamaicans will hurt you. You know what I mean? You know, Italian guys, they that's business to them. You know, these guys like Sammy the Bull, and you know, I know he's out doing his shows now, and you know, a lot of these guys, they were doing things to their own people. You know what I mean? And you know, you got to expect that in the game of life. You know, if you're going to hurt somebody that's a drug dealer, well, they're going to hurt you back. You know, is it fair? I don't know. I guess it is. You know, but when you start hurting innocent people and kids and bullets start flying, that's when you got to draw the line. And, you know, like what happened with our agent, you know, Hatcher, you know, this guy, you know, he was out of control, right? And he ended up killing him over what? Because he was high and, you know, he just wanted to do what he wanted to do. I mean, Faraci. And again, me and my partner, Eric Stangby, we locked up the guys that, Mario Gallo was one of them on that first case I did, and Jimmy Gallione. Now, these guys were the ones responsible for killing Gus Faraci. They killed him, you know, because of this. And when we locked them up on the drug charges, we also superseded with the murder on Faraci. So they did their time. They're out, and I think who knows where they are now. But that's the only guy. I mean, I'll say Mario Gallo was one of the guys, and it's just a name you guys don't know. But when we locked all these motherfuckers up, he was the only guy that basically said to me, "Go fuck myself." He's not cooperating. You know what I mean? And I shook his hand. And I said, like, "Wow, you know, all right, I'll leave you the fuck alone." You know what I mean? And he did his time. The other guys, no, they right away. I mean, I was moving one guy. And these guys are all over, you know, they're all in these podcasts and these YouTube shows that they got these guys hosting these shows and they're talking about mob-related things and whatnot. And I know it's sexy and people like that, but the reality of it is, man, you know, it's a dangerous game. And it's a shame that, like I said, when you're a young kid and you get involved in this shit and you're going to do 20, 25 years for what? You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, jail is fucking horrible. I started as a corrections officer. It's horrible to be in jail. You know what I mean? It sucks. You know?
Nothing like a man kicking your bed and telling you to
get the fuck up, right?
You don't know what that
We're ready to eat. You know, let's go, motherfucker.
What
right?
eat? They would kick the fucking bed and tell you to get the fuck up and put the light on. And your first instinct is grab him by the neck.
Yeah.
You just got to sit there and go, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
You know? So that was enough for me. But I got to ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't know where I would have ended up. I love smoking pot, and then the 80s came along, and I'm not going to blame the death on my mom. I have a mind, and I can make my own decisions. But I saw what drugs did. I saw people getting high and taking hits of mescaline and drinking. They were fine. And then there were the idiots up. There was always a patch in North Bergen that hid heroin, whatever. But all of a sudden I saw this community just get taken by cocaine. And that's, never mind West New York, Union City.
Right.
That was that's where they were cleaning it down there. It was just, so it's kind of weird how for fucking 50 years, right, 84? When was Reagan in?
Early 80s, yeah.
You know, his wife went on and we're going to fight the war on drugs.
Yeah.
What the fuck has happened?
It happens quick, man. You know, it gets out of control. Listen, again, it goes back to money. There's so much money to be made because there's a lot of people that are depressed out there. There's a lot of people that, you know, are just in a bad way. And, you know, for whatever reason, that might be their cup of tea, whether it's drinking, whether it's this. And, you know, you're always gonna find, it's never gonna end. But somebody's got to be there, and I'll say like the DEA, NYPD, all other cops, someone's got to be there to make them know that there are repercussions and there is a risk, you know? So you always got, you know what I mean? You just can't let, like a lot of people legalize this, legalize that. Nah, I understand the marijuana. I don't have a problem with that at all.
I do at some stages.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
Lee, what were we going to say?
No, I was actually going to ask about that, because there are some cities that have completely
the marijuana
decriminalized
is
it.
done. That's it. It's either legal. Who's got the nerve to take a joint off you when you're in a fucking rental car and bring in, unless you act like an asshole or have alcohol in your breath.
Right.
Then anybody would bring you in. But forget about the marijuana. Look at all the synthetic stuff they're bringing in. You got meth that's making a comeback. Meth is never gone.
Yeah.
Like my buddies or whatever
Yeah, I got
in
you.
L.A., and he told me, he goes, during the pandemic, I sold a bunch of coke. When the pandemic ended, it became meth.
Yeah.
It was meth by the fucking ton. I couldn't even get it in on time.
Because they're making meth also in the Midwest with a lot of like things you can buy at the pharmacy. You know, it's like hillbilly shit. You know what I mean? They actually, there's been so many times where they're cooking, and they're blowing themselves up. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, someone opens the door and the whole meth lab explodes. I mean, you know, it's nuts. It's nuts, man.
It's just, you know, you sit here now, 30 years, and listen, I was a consumer. You know, I remember when Nancy Reagan said that, I'm like, man, you better start snorting coke.
Yeah.
Because of the war on drugs, you better get as much as you can.
Yeah.
Because it's real, cocksucker, and it never ended.
Yeah.
And then, listen, I really love smoking marijuana. I can't do it anymore.
God bless you, man.
I
you know?
enjoyed it as a kid, thinking back. It just took away that piece of anxiety.
Yeah.
Just did something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It made you feel, you turned the button a little
I
bit on
didn't
you.
like drinking. I loved that. You know, I could fall asleep at night.
Yeah.
Did I think? I always thought buying marijuana is getting your check on Friday,
Yeah, getting a bag.
stopping at the liquor store, and then stopping at Benny Blanco's house and getting an eighth for $90. and
Would you say
putting it-
Benny Blanco?
Yeah.
From the Bronx?
Yeah, and putting it in your trunk
That was a good movie.
and driving home in fear. Like that you might get pulled over. That was the whole thing. Now we walk into a store. Hi, how are you? Let me see your ID. Oh my God. Returning customer or first time?
You know what? It's fucking funny you say that because I'm not going to get into names again, but for someone's 60th birthday party, first time I ever went in as a DEA guy, I went to a town down the shore, and it's a big place. And long story short, again, I go there. I'm a little nervous. I mean, but it's like fucking legit. You can go in there. So, no, what does Myron do? He pulls in the parking lot. I'm surveilling the place. Is this legit? Who's going in there? You know what I mean? Okay. I walk in there. It's like you're at Best Buy. I go to the fucking counter. How are you? Where's your license? No problem. Now go through these other two doors. I go through these other two doors. Now I'm in a fucking assembly line. It's like the DMV. You know what I mean? And I'm behind a whole bunch of people. Then all of a sudden, guy goes like this, over here. I go, okay. I go, I'm looking to buy some, marijuana for a birthday present. You know what I mean? He goes, well, I go, I don't know what the fuck you got here. What do you think? I don't want to kill the guy and shit. He goes, well, I would try this. And I go, this is the first time I've done this. I says, I used to be a fucking DEA guy. And we used to lock people. He goes, DEA, you get 25% off. I go, holy shit. I says, nice, But it was like... I'll be honest with you, it was fucking funny because, like, wow, you know what I mean?
Thought?
What's that?
Who would have thought?
And the guy was like, it was almost like, hey, park closed, you know what I mean? Like Wally World, remember that fucking show? That one thing, it was like the guy looked just like that. I was laughing. I went home, told my wife, I said, I took care of him. I got 25% off. Yeah.
Plantopia has a drive-in. You go online, order it, and you go to the window, and you don't have to get out of your fucking car.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, and then you have to pay cash. That's the only thing they haven't. They don't have the ATM set up.
Yeah,
but
cash
they're
is
open
king,
at
man.
7 a.m.
Yeah.
For you fucking early birds.
Wow.
And for you insomniacs, they closed at 11.
Yeah.
and then midnight or 1 on the weekends. Are you fucking kidding me?
Holy shit, that's big business, man.
That means 10:30, you got nothing to do. All of a sudden, 11 o'clock, The Exorcist coming on. Fuck it. I'll take a run to ShopRite, drive through the weed store. Ba, ba, da, ba.
Yeah, I still can't watch that show. That scares the shit
Which
out of me.
one? The Exorcist?
Yeah, that's one.
But meanwhile, you see a guy get hit in the head with a golf club and there's blood on the fucking wall.
No, that don't bother me. But I'm telling you what,
that don't bother me.
no, the Exorcist one that bothers me. As a
Myron,
kid, I
have you
remember.
considered writing a book? I know you're retired now, and you can't sleep, and you won't go to
that's
yoga.
the fucking problem. Did you ever think
That's
about
the
writing a
problem.
book?
You need to start writing a book.
Yeah, there's a
You're
lot
an
of little
interesting guy. Get
Well, thank
yourself
you.
a little security job where
Yeah.
you just watch a guy walk from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Listen, you're on your own. They start shooting, I don't know nothing. All right?
Well, I got to say one thing. Besides the DEA, you know what I mean. And I know Johnny. I brought a friend over here, Johnny. He could tell you stories, man. We had the best times in our lives. We always had shore houses. He still had them up until last year. He just purchased a house. But I mean, the shit we seen and the shit we did is. I mean, I could write a book about that. Never mind the fucking DEA. He could tell you stories about fucking vacations we went on that. I mean,
What did you specialize in the DEA? Like, what
mean,
division? You were everywhere.
I was
Drugs?
first. We were mob guys. We worked the mob, and did that for years. And then it was just then like a knockaround kind of group where we did whatever, which turned out to be some mob guys too. And then I ran at the end of my career. My last 5 years, I ran asset forfeiture. I had like 35 people under me. But like for instance, when we do all these cases, long story short, if we take airplanes, we take your money, we take fucking everything. We take horses, we take cars. I can go on, gold bars, coins, stocks, and they all come through me, through my group. And we were going to Brinks once a week, and I kid you not, in the 5 years I was doing it, every week there'd be at least $2 million in cash that we would have to take to the Brinks. And we'd have to have 2 or 3 guys go, so nobody could, you never know, somebody might get a tip on us and, try to fucking steal the money. You know what I mean? So I ran asset forfeiture, which was it was a slowed down pace, but it got to be too crazy. And then I said, let me pull up the stakes because of the things I said with the way just law enforcement was going. And I've been there over 30 years. So I think that was enough blood to give, you know what I mean? I could have done more, but, I was tired. Now I'm fucking tired and I can't sleep. So I might have to take you up on one of these fucking Slim Jim
these
things you
magic
got.
things? You'll be out for 2 days, happy as a pig and shit.
I tell you what, as
Your
long
wife
as somebody
will-
wakes me up every 4 hours to eat,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I gotta fucking eat.
Nah, we got one of those piss tubes
Oh.
that you take home. We'll just push you onto the mattress. And,
I like the piss tubes. Have you
Yeah.
pissed-
Oh, yeah.
I asked Johnny before. I had to take a squirt before. He had a can. Back in the day when we were on surveillance, man, we couldn't get out and piss, so we'd piss in, like bottles. I didn't piss in front of your place here if there's any cameras, but I did across the street. Right, dude?
Myron, whenever you decide to write a book,
Yeah.
let me know.
All right.
I'll hook you up with a girl that's really good.
Oh, yeah?
You got some good stories. Why fucking sit there like a
Yeah.
baboosh? Guys like you can't fucking retire.
You know what? This
I've
is
been around you for 3 hours. I'm
I-
like, this motherfucker, what retire? You still got a lot of life left to you.
Yeah, I know.
You're not
I
ready to
feel
go
it.
to South Carolina
No.
and to sit there.
Although I
and-
do like Charleston, it was nice, but yeah.
you know what? I like Hawaii too.
Yeah.
But that don't mean I'm flying there tomorrow to sit and look at a beach.
I agree- I agree with you,
We're
man.
not PI 100.
Yeah.
We're not going to move to the beach and arrest people. So
Yeah,
just-
I'm glad I got out of the house. You got me out of the
Yeah,
house.
I
I know
gotta
my
get-
wife probably said, "Hey, get this fucking
No,
guy out of
no,
here."
no.
But
I was just
I'm
sitting
glad I
there
got
one
out.
day, and I told Myron I wanted to get him on and talk to him about whatever, and here we are.
Yeah.
I'm not
So I'm-
blowing smoke up your ass. You're an interesting fucking
I
dude.
appreciate that.
I know you had to keep some of the names and dates, to protect
Yeah, I
the
mean,
innocent.
so like I said, my memory has to be jarred a little bit. But again, I thank you all, for inviting me. You're a good group of guys here, and I tell you what, it brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah, good. I'm happy we got you out.
Thank you.
We'll
Yeah.
give you an edible on the way out, and then
Oh.
Panada.
Good.
You'll be
Yeah.
tipped
Nothing with
top fucking
caffeine
good.
in it, bro.
Listen, those Spanish people, they know how to cook.
Oh, absolutely.
You just pass the fuck out. They put Xanax or something Mexican. The Cubans put something in there.
Yeah.
You fall asleep eating the empanada.
Klonopins and fucking, right, the Valiums and...
No, they put something in their fucking food, the Cubans.
Yeah.
1 minute you're home eating empanada, next minute you wake up at 4 and Telemundo's on. You know what I'm saying? People are fucking going back and forth with maracas. You're like, what happened?
I just wanted to give one little shout out. I mean, because I was talking about a lot of these cases, and when we first started bringing the cases to Eastern District, the mob cases, it was AUSA over there by the name of Jim Walden, and Jim Walden's running for mayor now for New York as an independent, and he's a very good guy, very knowledgeable, and I wish him well, and I just wanted to throw his name out there. He's got his stuff together, and it might be a good change to get away from what New York normally elects. You know what I mean? I don't want to again get into politics, but
This show is all felons, so forget it.
oh, okay.
This is not a
Nobody's.
good vote
I mean,
for you. Know
you can't vote when you're in jail. That's
Listen,
right.
all of you are felons. Cover your ears.
You have anybody else calling in over here that are for you got any other guys, mob guys, or
Did they call in?
yeah? Oh,
I don't like people calling in.
okay.
Just random people.
Yeah.
They're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
They'll sit there on the phones and
I got you.
next thing you know, they're banging on your window. I've been on the phone for an hour.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
They're probably going to have some of his empanadas if they find out how good
Yeah. And
they
then-
are and shit.
Listen, man, we saw, this is my world right now. We saw The Godfather. We saw Goodfellas. And then at the end of the day, no matter what the fuck you tell me,
Yeah.
we saw a TV series that swept America off their feet.
You talking about Miami?
What Miami? I'm talking about the fucking Sopranos.
Oh, The Sopranos.
It's-
Oh, I thought you were going back to Miami.
you
I'm
know,
sorry, brother.
For an example,
Yeah.
Miami Vice was Miami Vice. But it's like I tell people, in 97, I did a show and I had to send a resume. And the agent called me immediately and she's like, I got to talk to you. I'm like, what? She goes, you got to take North Bergen, New Jersey off your resume.
Yeah.
She goes, I don't really want people to see that.
Really?
Always go to New York City. I go, all right, put New York City down. She's going to get me a role. This is when Springsteen was out. You know, all these animals are out. The Sopranos came out. It was completely different to put New Jersey on your resume.
Oh, yeah, man. I love that show. I mean, I never missed an episode. That was amazing.
And I'm at the point in my life right now, at least I am, that I think I've seen the best of it. When people approach me for Mafia scripts now,
Yeah.
if I see Gino or Vinny,
Yeah.
the second page goes back. I'm not interested.
Yeah. I don't blame. I'll be honest. I
Just
don't blame you.
I'm not interested.
Yeah.
It's not interesting no more.
Yeah.
Give me the Mob 2025. You got 3 black dudes now.
There ain't.
You got a Dominican.
Yeah.
80 years are in jail. The other ones are fat and old. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody's kicking up to these guys.
No.
They're 80. You're done.
That
if
don't
you
work.
can't shoot nobody, you ain't good to me.
There's
Get the
nobody
fuck
there.
out. You know, I mean, give me something like that that's real.
Yeah.
So I just can't. What were we talking about? These edibles are kicking
The
in.
Sopranos.
No, you were talking about The Sopranos and how
The Sopranos was so
yeah,
good
yeah.
that what's gonna match
Replace
that now?
nothing.
What story are you gonna come at me? As a matter of fact, your boy just became councilman in the town next
I know
to
who he is.
Okay.
John. Yeah.
He just, you saw all the
Yeah,
news.
no, I know.
He's all
I
over the
know.
news. People, I
Yeah,
go
he
to
was
the-
legit too. I mean, he was
No,
a bad.
he's
you
the
know,
real deal.
You know who he was with, right?
Yeah, I go to the weed store. People are like, do you know John? He wants to meet. I don't know fucking John. I don't know no John. He's like the mayor of Englishtown now or something. That's the best weed store in town. The fucking.
Well,
place.
that's how could you believe
And
that?
I love John, and I believe John.
Yeah,
But I tell you what, there's 22 guys now running their mouths,
yeah.
and 11 of them turned evidence.
I mean,
And I'm a big fan of Sammy. Big
yeah. I
fan
mean,
of Sammy.
I seen some of his things, and listen, no disrespect towards anybody. I mean, they did their thing, but they're doing their thing now. They still want to be there. They still want to talk about it. They love it. It's like, you know what I mean? It's in
No.
them.
I stop by Sammy on Instagram every other day.
Yeah.
And he's talking to you like it's 1984. So I talked to Paul.
Yeah.
And I told Paul, and you're like, do you think these kids even have an idea what the fuck you're talking about?
No.
Try to sell anything Gotti now. You're not going to sell a ticket. People don't want to hear that shit no more. Gotti's been beat up to death. If not, just throw on Mobsters every Sunday. It's the same episode since 1998.
But back, when Sammy, let me just cut you off. Sammy, he went back after he got out. And DEA, and I know about this because I know the people that were involved with that. You know what happened to him when he went out when he was in the program, right? He went to Arizona and he got his kid involved with a lot of things, and they got locked up again with that ecstasy thing, which I never even hit on because I worked a lot of the Russian guys, and that was fucking unbelievable stories with the Russian guys and the ecstasy. But yeah, and another little thing that, perhaps if you have me on another time, maybe you don't want to hear my shit anymore, but because I'm getting very dry in the mouth right now.
Well, drink the fucking water.
No, I've been doing it, man, but I've been thinking about that, taking that edible, and that's even drying me out more. But getting back to, we were working a guy on Mob Wives. We locked up my group. I was a supervisor there, but we had locked up Renee, Graziano,
right.
And the big person in that is Hector Pagan. I mean, I don't know if you look him up. I mean, yeah, but he was with us when he was on the show, if you catch my drift. You understand? But he did his own. Then he come out, and I think Graziano Anthony, he testified against her father, who was a big weed guy over in Brooklyn. So that was very very interesting.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you could see his shit. A couple of YouTubers did a nice little thing on him. You know what I mean? That I saw recently. It was pretty interesting because I didn't realize all the shit he did. He was actually pretty well liked, and he was with like big guys.
Who, T.G. Graziano?
No, I'm talking about
Hector?
Hector Pagan. He was good friends with Joe Massimino, who was very big, and But they all get caught. That's
He ratted at the end.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And he was fucking brilliant at the end.
Yeah.
Because he came out, he said, fuck these hangouts. I don't want you hanging out no more. Everybody's got to get a job. Everybody. Everybody's got to get off the corner. No more fucking jumpsuits. No more gold chains.
I have the silver, bro. There's a guy over there. There's a Sergio Tacchini.
Yeah,
that's what it was all about.
We're fucking hiding. You know what I'm saying? And he shut it down for a while. But you're always going to make big fucking mistakes with cash.
Always.
The accountants came in. The FBI forensic accountants came in. You just might as well get the fucking noose ready. When them motherfuckers come, those are the people that killed Jesus. When they show up, before those motherfuckers show up, you might as well just go, put the cuffs on. Don't even bother. Don't even bother. I'll tell you on the way there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's over. They're all nerds with glasses. They don't know nothing. They don't want to know pussy.
Yeah, when they got a fucking calculator in their fucking hand,
Trust me.
And the number 2 pencil in their ear.
Trust me. When they come, dog, Giso. They come with the chemistry set, and it's over. It's over, guys. So once the forensic accountants come, just call your mother. Tell her, listen, Ma, it's over. You gotta give back the jewelry I gave you 3 years ago, because they're coming to get that any minute now.
You're right, brother.
Man, it's a real pleasure to have you on.
Well, thank you for having me.
And I want to have you on again.
No problem. Sure. There's more stories and stuff, and maybe by that time I'll have like a book written or something,
Oh, I would love it. I'm telling you.
I mean, I got a lot of things in my mind, but I got to get them somewhere before the mind goes. You know what I mean?
And you got to run it through an attorney. You got to send it to the DEA for clearance, and that's a hand job.
Yeah. I don't know if I got to do that anymore. Because I'm retired. I don't know.
Out of
how that
respect,
works.
so they don't call you back in and bust your balls.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting. This is the most interesting thing I'm going to tell you, and then we'll get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Fucko was on the podcast before the pandemic. Wolf. What's his name? The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
Remember,
shit.
I gave him a
Jordan
Quaalude
Belfort.
from the fucking 80s.
Oh, the Wolf of Wall Street. That was
Jordan Belfort.
The movie.
Yeah, I understand. I know what it was.
Benicio del Toro. Well,
Yeah.
he was on the show. The real Wolf
Yeah.
came on the show. We were talking about shit. And all of a sudden he goes, I don't know if you know how I wrote my story. And I go, why? He goes, Chong was my jailmate, my cellmate.
Oh, okay.
In the federal. And he told me,
Yeah.
I was telling him stories about the stock market.
Yeah, because all the mob guys were that's what they were doing.
Yeah, that's what they were
there
doing.
There was a couple of names, but what they were doing, you know what they do?
Yeah,
they push
the
certain
penny
stocks,
stock and
and these
shit.
guys don't even have licenses, and then they close it down and they short it, and that was Yeah, we were looking into a lot of those guys too.
But
I mean, yeah,
he talked them into writing a fucking book.
yeah,
And it became a fucking movie.
yeah.
That's my point.
And that's a
there.
yeah, and it
That's
was
what
a
I'm
good
saying
movie.
to you. You're sitting there bored.
Yeah.
Write a fucking movie.
Yeah,
Just to give you a heads up, he is going to take 10 points just for as the manager.
Five.
Just
He's
five?
family.
he could have more than that, man. I don't give
He's
a fuck.
family, dog. Come on.
How come you always charge me 10?
Because there's
I'll even
reasons.
throw 5%.
I gotta hold your
brother.
hand. You're gonna call me at night. Did I make the right move? I mean, yeah, I need that in my life. 2 a.m. Lee, what's up? I can't sleep. This manager's got me going crazy. I'm over here, dreaming about fucking hanging out with the DEA, and all of a sudden,
Yeah, but it was nice coming. Nice, you're a great guy. All you guys are good guys. You bought some great fucking empanadas. You got a funny fucking laugh, and you got to work on that head cold, man.
Trying.
Yeah, you take some Vicks.
got-
My mother used to put some Vicks by my
come
nose.
back in 10 minutes. He'll be healed because
Yeah,
he got sick once I came back with
No, I didn't.
the Mac Daddy of Mac Daddies. He started getting sick last Wednesday when he saw the box. He started getting twitches and shit. He knew that Lent.
Listen,
that Lent was
what are
here.
these things here?
Do you
though?
have
What is
the-
this? Just like
This is
nicotine?
nicotine pouches. They come in 3, 6, 9, 12. Forget about it.
What do I got to put a couple of quarters in there? or
No. I'll hook you up with one on the way.
No,
out.
I'm good, man.
You put one under your chin. Forget it. You'll be fucking.
No, I can't do that.
You'll be
I'll
doing
throw up.
90 on the Parkway.
Yeah.
Hey, you got your old badge. I just put it there with a disco light. Now
I do have it.
They don't know nothing. Just put the badge up with a disco light. That's it. Nobody knows nothing. Nobody will even stop you. That's the fucking funny thing.
Johnny, you got anything to say, brother?
Oh God!
Don't get them started. Don't get them
Tell
started.
about the goat bar.
We got to get the fuck out
Oh,
of
the
here.
goat bar, but holy fuck, don't tell
No,
that.
we'll get the fuck out of here. Next time we'll talk about the goat
The goat bar is
now
in the
it's 10
Bronx.
to 8. I'm already hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm already
All right,
thinking
man.
about shit.
We out.
We out like
cutting.
fucking whatever.
Finito.
Lee, where you at this weekend?
March 29th, Broadway Comedy Club, 5:30 p.m.
Look at them.
wow.
Don't forget to be there. Austin, Moon Tower is officially sold out, but you got May 18th at the Parks motherfucking casino.
Yeah?
Right? Or August? May. We're working on May here and come out, and that's it, and that's that. I'll keep you posted. Lee, that's all you got?
That's all. I got Josh Wolf at Stanford Comedy Club in 2 weeks.
You going to
Make
Stanford?
something up, brother.
When are you going to Stanford?
Stanford, New York Comedy Club in 2
Oh,
weeks.
Stanford, New York. Okay.
Stanford, Connecticut.
I thought you were going to the old Stanford. The guy had the wig. That's a complete other story. I love you, savages. See you next week. Have a great week and get ready for April. What's happening, beautiful people? Uncle Joey here. It's March the 25th. Yes. Listen, I want to talk to you about something. Summertime is coming. You know what that means. It's time to head down to Pound Town. Da, 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 da. You need to be able to get that thing up there. And that's where Uncle Joey comes in. Blue Chew makes sure you're ready whenever the mood arises, whether you're on the beach, under the tunnel, wherever you're at, you're ready to go. Sign up at bluechew.com. Meet with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you get approved, forget about it. Your prescription will be there in days. Blue Chew works. They're serious. They come in little pouches. You put one in your wallet, and when you're ready for war, bam, there you are. Anyway, no more wishing, no more praying for your little fucking dick to work. Those days are over with. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at bluechew.com. It's summertime. These women got tons of options. Tons of options. So you better show up with a cape, a helmet, and a box of Blue Chew. Now, this is what I'm going to do for the nice people. You can get Blue Chew for free for 1 month. That's right. You can try it on your own. After you try it for 1 month, you're going to go, Joey, where have you been all my life? It's that easy. First month, Blue Chew for free when you press in promo code Joey, Joey. Again, Joey, Joey. Just pay $5 for shipping. That's promo code Joey. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show and for helping young men sling some dick in 2025. You know what I'm saying? It's the summertime. 4th of July is coming. I love you guys. What's happening, you savages? Uncle Joey here and my main man Lee Sayat. It's the church New Testament coming your way. It's Tuesday, the 20th of May. Do what you gotta do. Hey, Uncle Joey here. It's a beautiful day to be alive. I want to talk to you about Blue Chew. Listen, even if the rest of your life is a disaster, you can at least have some great sex with Blue Chew. In other words, you could sling dick like a fucking animal. Blue Chew helps men be stronger, harder, and longer lasting. So you have the time to pull out all your tricks in the bedroom. Listen, you could be giving her a stabbing and breaking bottles against the wall. The next day, people say, how was the sex? It was tremendous. There was a lot of stuff going on in that room. Listen, just sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And once you get approved, your prescription will be at your doorstep in days. You're going to love it. The mailman don't even know what he's delivering. Make life easier by getting harder and discovering your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for church listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew absolutely free when you press in promo code JOEY, Joey. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's it. That's promo code JOEY, and you're going to change your life. You're going to sling dick like a gladiator. You understand me? You're going to bust bottles over your head. You're going to be a fucking savage. Women will be calling you from all over the world. Hi, are you available this Saturday? Listen, I'm busy with Blue Chew. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show and for helping me sling dick at 62. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome back to church!
We're back. What's happening, beautiful people? It's Tuesday, the 20th of May, Memorial Day weekend. So you got this and Wednesday, and then everybody becomes soft. They're thinking about potato salad and what color they're going to fucking put the tablecloth, you know, whether it should be red and white or blue and white or whatever the fuck. What's up, dog?
Dude, and it's funny because I know you hate it, but for people who work like normal jobs, weeks like this are like we dream about them.
Listen, dog,
It's fucking amazing.
even when I worked, even when I was in prison, okay,
What are you talking?
I didn't give a fuck about Memorial Day, right? Even
Well, yeah, in prison every day is Memorial Day.
Yeah, every day. No, not really. You get scabbed, black people yelling. It's fucking amazing in there.
Well, yeah, but you did have a job. You had the bakery.
Yeah, I had the kitchen.
And then, that
I got
must
fired
suck.
from the bakery. Remember, I almost blew up the kitchen,
Right.
so they said, we got a better job for you. We got something better.
And what happens if, like, you don't want to work? Because that, like, to work all day for, like, $1, fuck you.
Dog, it's like 25 cents an hour. I was getting like 37 cents an hour, and I was like a high-paid dude. Like, I was like making $1.80 on the streets. 37 cents a week times 5 hours or something like that. 37 cents a day times 5. That's $1.50 a fucking day. I was getting $10 every 2 weeks, but I had the fucking bookmaking operation. So that's how
You have to.
you have to.
And then, like, I don't know if you saw it, and
I wasn't getting high in that. Let's get something straight.
you did acid.
Yeah, but $3 a hit. What I'm trying to say is, for a joint and a half, they call it what? Matchboxes? What's the matches with the box that you hit on the side?
Yeah.
What's the name?
Striker? I don't know.
The little box? A matchbox. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
It's $50 for a joint and a half of fucking regular shit. I don't even know what they were paying in there for coke and heroin. I know they do each other's cottons and shit. Like one guy holds on to it and he gives it to the other guy.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, HIV.
Teamwork.
Yeah, HIV for everybody. And everybody gets HIV. Everybody's gonna have a sore and a skinny neck in 3 years.
Fuck. Dude, but like, I don't know if you saw, and I wasn't even planning on talking about it, but what happened, I think it was like New Orleans, like 10 people escaped because they just ripped the door off of the hinges.
In prison?
Yeah,
Yeah. Those
like
people gonna
oh, it
escape
might have
every
been
fucking
jail.
day.
Like I know there's a difference, but like 10 people escaped. They've caught like 3 of them, and like the guard said like they stayed away because they were afraid for their safety. Like they ripped the door off the hinges, and then like they took like the sink in the cell and pulled that away. And I think it's I was on CNN today. It took them like 8 hours to realize they were
Who
gone.
gives a fuck about inmates? How about the Mexican ship?
Yeah.
Crashing into the Brooklyn Bridge. Mexicans jumping off. The one guy playing the guitar as he's sinking.
Oh.
What the fuck? Why would you fucking go under the bridge? And then, they killed like 6 people, right?
Yeah.
Killed 2 people, injured fucking 8, Listen. Columbus was the last Spanish guy. Knock it off. If you're Spanish, leave it to the fucking white dudes that smuggle weed, whatever.
And why do they have
How
a
the
sailboat?
fuck are you gonna crack into the fucking Brooklyn Bridge? A bunch of people out there. Viva Zapata. Fucking Selena Gomez was out there and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
That poor bastard.
on a sailboat.
Did you see that? It's
Yeah.
a fucking nightmare. It's and I love Mexican people, but what's with the fucking ship? Leave that to the cartel. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that smuggle and shit. Unbelievable. The cartel does all that shit. These were amateurs.
I gotta be honest, the cartel does it better.
Yeah, they wouldn't hit a bridge.
No, not in a sailboat. Those fucking dude. Can you imagine? Like, imagine if the bridge went down. Like, I don't know how that even
happened. Go
happened.
down from that little faggy boat.
I don't know.
You gotta hit that with a fucking. You gotta hit that with like one of those Navy ships and shit to rattle the core and the
But it wasn't Navy. But I guess it's a Mexican Navy.
Mexican Navy. Well, how many times have you seen a commercial for the Mexican Navy? If they got 200 people, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Have you seen they have videos of the cartel and they have better equipment than the Mexican
Bro, they got
armed
better
forces
equipment
do.
than fucking. They got everything. They know what everybody else knows. You don't make that type of money, and you're gonna pay. Let's pretend they pay. They make. I just give you a number, a realistic number. $1 billion a year, which is bullshit.
Right.
They probably pay $250 million in counterintelligence.
Yeah.
You know,
For
that,
what
you got to buy fucking missiles and cameras and fucking, seeing the dark shit. It's the shit the government has.
Probably even better. And what do you when you say intelligence? What do you do? You think it's does that include paying people off at the border, or what do you mean?
All that, even more. That's a complete different envelope. This is an envelope that just goes to DEA. They buy CIA files. They buy everything. With that type of money, it's no money. No number is big enough.
Yeah.
Those guys make a lot of fucking money, Lee. Truckloads at a fucking time.
And what do you?
What was fucking Escobar making in his heyday that he made the Forbes fucking list? He was making, I think it was $6 million a day.
Probably, yeah.
$6 million a day. That's $42 million a week. Are you fucking kidding me? What can't you buy?
Freedom.
Even if he takes a shipment and go, you know what? I'm just gonna get my dick sucked at a strip club. He could just light the fucking. When he froze, he burnt $100,000, $1 million to keep his family warm.
Right.
With matches. Who does that? Who burns $1 million?
I gotta be. They'd have to be really cold for me to have to burn 100,000.
Oh, but you're Jewish.
Would you burn 100,000?
Fuck for my family. Fuck yeah, to keep them warm. $1 million. When you have
When you have that amount.
When you have 42 million, what's $1 million? When you have 42 million, and you got another 42 million coming in next week, what's $1 million?
You would think that, but that's how
even if I shoot the operation down after May, I still got fucking, 84 million coming to me in 2 weeks. That'll make me laugh for a long time.
Dude, I can't. I don't know why people don't quit when they have that much money.
Because think about it. You want more fucking money. Look at Elon Musk. Why didn't he quit?
He doesn't have cartel money.
Rocks. He passed pretty close to it.
He
All
does.
those guys on the fucking Forbes list, those top 10 guys, they got dough. They got loot.
Yeah.
It's like I was watching that stupid show last night. He robbed a $900,000 chain from some chick. For somebody, a woman, for your husband to buy you pretty much $1 million chain, they got to have 30 million in the bank. For me to like, let me buy her $1 million chain that's going to sit in a fucking drawer. Is it an investment?
And it got robbed?
Well, on this TV show, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
okay. I thought it was.
But who spends $900,000? That's fucking shit money. That's
I don't even. That's so much money that I can't even wrap my head around.
no, and you're not supposed to. So mind your business. You know what I'm saying? What are you worried about? $42 million. You get me all hot and bothered. I was gonna go home and start selling coke again. You know? I'll tell you what happened to me this fucking weekend.
What's that?
I mean, Parks was great. Last week was great. Sunday, I went to little Joey's 8th or 9th birthday party. And I get there, I go inside, it's like 1 o'clock, got a couple numbers in me. And right away, they have like a really good Italian sandwiches. But they had little ones, you know, the little bite-sized ones. And I go, you know what? This will hold me over till the dinner at 4 or 5. So I ate a little piece of sandwich, fucking great bread, great coconut. I'm good. I didn't want to sit in the house no more. It was a nice day, so I went outside. And when I'm sitting outside there, they ordered cases of fucking White Castle.
Oh,
right?
shit.
So I'm sitting there minding my own business, watching the kids play, talking to some of the parents. And one of the kids goes, Joe, you want a White Castle? And I go, you know what? I'll take a White Castle. And I ate one. I'm like, this is pretty fucking good. And then I ate another one. And you're like, this is pretty good. But I didn't touch the fries, and I only ate 2. I usually eat 3.
The
That's
little
my
small slider things.
Yeah, I usually eat 3. But today I ate 2. And it's funny, when you move here, like I did, you know, I went to White Castle the first time with my wife and daughter. Everybody loved it. You should have seen them on the way home. You thought I fucking introduced them to the fucking, you know, Johnny Van Butte. Then like the second time, they were all like a little hesitant. Like, I don't know. If you want to go get them, we'll wait for you. And then when I brought them home, I went up a few hours later. There was like maybe 2 or 3 missing. And then one day I asked Mercy, I go, you just want to go to White Castle? She's like, not in a million years, Dad. And I'm like, why? And she goes, Dad, my stomach got really sick last time for a couple of days. And I'm like, she's young. My stomach don't get sick. Let me tell you something. I went home last night. I relaxed. I smoked some dope. I got the week ready. This morning I got up, took a shower, ate breakfast. And when I was driving around this morning, I'm like, man, my stomach feels funky, right? And then I had to go to the gym. And as I was driving to the boxing gym, I'm like, this is not going to work out.
No.
But they got a nice bathroom at the boxing gym. It's never dirty. They always clean it. They keep it clean. So I went, and while I was at the boxing gym, I didn't have to shit, but I bought a container of pineapple juice. They have fresh squeezed pineapple juice. And I got one on the way home, and I drank on the way home. 10 minutes from the house, I'm like, I'm going to fucking die. I'm going to die, right? And when I hit the fucking right turn to go on to Willow, I smelt an odor that I haven't smelt in years, okay? It's like when you have a dead body and you try to move it, and it's got that last part in it, and it fucking lets it go. That's the worst part you'll ever smell. So that is the worst.
I think everyone can relate to that.
Somebody's dead for like 3 hours. You try to move the body, and you'll hear that last, you smell that shit.
Oh.
So, dog, I went to the bathroom. I went to the basement bathroom, and I just unleashed pain, fury, anger. Everything came out of my asshole. Dog, I had to light 2 candles, open up the garage door, open up the door to the garage, and open up the back door, and I had to spray Febreze. I left for like 2 or 3 hours. I came back. It was worse. I had to put the fart fan on. I will never touch White Castle as long as I fucking live again. I don't know where that odor came from, but I don't want to smell it again.
Dude, but sometimes you need it. Like, if you ever
No, you don't
need
need
to
that shit in your life. You don't need that. If I want that smell, I'll drive on the parkway and I'll park and sit there for 10 minutes and and smell it, that fucking rotten ass.
But you never feel like you have to take a shit and like you're like, okay, I'll get White Castle now.
Not like that.
It was that bad?
Yeah, the odor was not. No. If a doctor would have walked by, they would have called an ambulance. They would have said,
someone's dead in there.
That horse died. Something happened in there. It was not good, guys.
And you didn't do that at the gym? Because I know you hate when people take shits at the gym.
No, but if it's an emergency, listen, before I go to the gym bathroom, I'll look outside and see if there's a palm tree or something like that. I have no shame with taking a good shit outside, okay? The only thing with my age, you can't do it close to a school because then fucking, I
think that's really anyone's age.
I'm a sexual offender that takes shits in front of kids. I don't want to do 30 years for that shit, so. You know, so I don't want to do time for that. So I just
You'd rather, and obviously not
this
in public,
bathroom is clean though, very, very clean.
but it didn't like seep out into
And
the
there weren't
gym.
a lot of people there.
Thank God.
So I wouldn't have minded. It's when there's 200 people in the gym and you open up the door after you dump your liver, and next thing you know, there's 3 women waiting to go to the bathroom, and you're like, I can't come back here for a week. I can't come back here for 10 days. I can't come back here at this time slot again. Because these women are all going to see me and go, that dude no bueno, that motherfucker.
See, I'm surprised you get him. I would think, knowing, if I had to guess, I thought you'd do the exact opposite. Like if you saw some women who you thought like would do that, you would just like leave it for them, especially.
Listen, bro. In my world, a woman could do whatever the fuck she wants. You ever have a woman shit in front of you? It doesn't even smell. I don't know what they do. They carry something in their purse.
Yeah.
You ever listen? Better this. Go out with a girl. She'll tell you she has to go to the bathroom after a dinner. That means she's taking a shit. Bring her back to your house and eat her ass. It doesn't smell like a follicle of poop.
No.
It smells fresh. We can't do that. I take a shit. I take 2 showers. My asshole still smells. I know that for a fact because I always check my muffin. I go, Jesus Christ. I soap it. I loofah it. I put conditioner in there. I put everything in my asshole.
And do you do a couple different like passes on it, or just one pass? And because if
One
I
pass
smelled
is
it and it
enough.
smelled bad, I would do it again.
No, but it's clean. It's clean. It's spotless.
Right.
I know for a fact it's spotless. It doesn't matter. It's like they have barnacles that stick onto the side. You got to burn them off with a lighter and a magnifying glass and shit. You got to find yourself somebody who's willing to fucking do something like
I was
that.
just gonna say, I don't think your wife would do that for you.
No wife would do that. You got to go for outside help for that. You got to find that chick, the Chinese chick that pops the pimples on your neck.
Oh,
That fucking crazy bitch.
and burn the barnacles off of your asshole.
Yeah, but they burn them nice. Chinese people know how to. They got like a mild sparkler, like a little sparkler on a stick. It's like a laser sparkler, and all of a sudden you just hit the floor, and that's it. You're back to home.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, cocksucker. But Philadelphia was really good. We had
Yeah.
2 shows last week that were very nice. We had Thursday at the Dojo and Saturday in Philadelphia. And the Dojo, I was thinking about this, is becoming our little ice house.
Yeah. It's very similar to like the Stage 2 Ice House for sure.
2 ice house. We were looking for it, and we fucking found it. The Utopia.
Yeah.
We go there, work out. We're doing 2 Thursdays, the 6th and the 12th, or the 6th and the 27th, something like that. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. 27th at the pack. No, 28th I'm at the pack. 27th I'm at the pack. The 26th I'm at the Dojo. It's a Thursday. It's a nice warm up, ba-boom.
So the first and the last Thursday?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Dude, it's funny. I never thought about it like the Ice House, but you're 100% right. Because the Ice House always had, like, the audiences were always
energetic,
game, like, and they would have
a small room. They were powerful, and once you get comfortable in that fucking type of room, once you get comfortable, your guts will come out more.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's been going on. Your guts come out more because you're comfortable in that room. You're comfortable in that setting, and that's what you need. A couple workouts in there a week, you're tip top magoo. You're not bad.
But and it's not anything about the Dojo. But like I had such a good set there on Thursday, and I tried to it was not ad-libbed, but like a different look at what I've been doing, and I tried to do it at Parks, and it went okay, but like I think it made me a little bit overconfident. Like that room is so good that I got overconfident for other shows.
Well, you're comparing 100 people to 1,600 people,
right?
Okay. Remember, I told you once when I first got moved here, I was trying to get back into comedy. And what I didn't like about doing comedy then was I lost control of the audience, and it was a 140-seat room. I couldn't control them. I could not fucking control them. It was like, and I've been controlling 140 people all my life. That's the normal number. You know, the comedy store's 180. So I've been running 180 people, 140 all my life. For me, that could control them. I was like, I'm done with comedy. Something's not working.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to the Dojo and you do a couple workouts in there. You keep showing up, and you start getting that control. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It's like you have to. What's that shit cowboys do with the fucking lasso? You got to lasso them in.
Mm-hmm.
They all got to come together at the same time, and it's very tough to do that if you miss the fucking lasso and you only have this side of the room on. So once you lasso them in, that's what it feels like. I got them. Now I could do whatever the fuck I want. I could say what I want. I got them. That's it. I got them. Then you move on to 800 seats, and you'll realize that's why when you go to a theater after a small room, it always feels kind of weird.
Yeah, it felt weird.
Okay, so it's the timing, it's the energy, Lee. The energy up front has to be everything. If I go up front, when I get off stage, I'm huffing and puffing and I'm sweating because I did 30 minutes in 15. You're not giving them a breather. That's the advantage of having more than 15 minutes. That if I have 30, now these bitches ain't going to breathe. They're not going to breathe.
Right.
How many minutes you want me to do? 15? Okay. Now you're dead because I'm going to take that 30 minutes and condense them. Do the jokes I give them the greatest hits of, and then do the long ones that I could fit in 15 minutes, and just fucking level them. It's all about energy. The bigger the room, you better show up with some fucking energy, put your lungs into it, and it's got to come from your feet. Like when you get off that stage, your hips hurt. They should fucking hurt. Your back should hurt, because you're giving them everything you got. It's like when you throw a right cross, a punch doesn't come from the arm. A punch comes from the foot. When you push off that foot and you throw that right fucking number 2 punch, that's where everything is. And even when you throw a jab, you're stepping forward and you're pushing off this leg and you're so it's always that fucking, so energy up front, energy in a theater is big. Or come out heavy. Always come out heavy. For 6 minutes, come out heavy. You fight. Did you see the Antonio Brown fight? Anybody saw that? And AB got it mugged.
Did you really?
Nobody fucking saw that. Yeah. Antonio Brown they tried to rob his jewelry the other night.
Oh, it was like a legit. Okay.
He was going off. And that's 6 minutes. Like, he probably couldn't do it for 20.
Right.
Your heart will blow up. But that 6, whatever, he was fighting for 2 minutes, whatever. They didn't stop. They were throwing punches. People were flying through the air. A guy fell down. He kicked him in the stomach. There was always action. And that's when you get into those bigger rooms where you might lose control, that's 400 seats and more. Like the club in Arizona has 650
Stand-up
fucking
live?
seats. It goes deep. Irvine.
Oh, that one too.
Irvine. I used to always eat a bag of dicks every year. I drove down there to pick up a nice check to eat a bag of dicks. And it was 3 hours of traffic.
Yeah.
We would have to leave at 4 to get there at 7:15, eat that fucking Japanese burger like shit blood.
I forgot about that burger
Remember
place.
what was the name of that burger everybody was talking about? They had the chain, wasabi burger. Or
I'll look it up
Yoshi.
in the break. It's at the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, Yoshi Burger was in Burbank. Then it closed. And then they finally had it somewhere else, like, this, that, and Yoshi Burger. I got so fucking sick that night, but Irvine pissed me off because in 23 years of doing Irvine, I never could control. It was always seemed like I was doing jokes and they were coming out of there and the people on this side weren't laughing or vice versa. You would go down there, do 2 shows and drive home and go, what the fuck was that? Well, it's the night before Thanksgiving.
Right. But I feel like I'm just, since I've moved here, almost by accident, working on my energy or because when you said your legs hurt, I have nights where I think it happens by accident, where I have a lot of energy. I always try to have energy, but that's not really my style. But I noticed there was one time it backfired, but I don't, the fact that you can harness it and decide to do it, I'm nowhere near that yet.
Okay, here's the deal. Number one, I think it was Nick hit me up the other day. He's like, hey, do you want to meet and get dinner? That'll never happen.
Before show.
That'll never happen. I don't want to talk to nobody before a fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
That's too much energy. Talking to people, they're going to ask you goofy questions. What made you get into stand-up? All that bullshit. You show up at the show, you eat a bag of dicks.
Mm-hmm.
You just put your energy out. Saturday, I did a bunch. The girls went somewhere, and I did a bunch of stuff. I did kettlebells and shit in the garage. I hit the bag. But at 1:30, I was done for the day. I didn't do shit. And the girls were not home, but I didn't hunt anybody out to hang out. I didn't get on the phone. I didn't do anything. I'm resting. And energy is like anything else, okay? You ever do a HIIT workout where you have to do 20 seconds on and then 40 seconds off? That's stand-up comedy. That's a version of stand-up comedy because you're punching. They're laughing. So you're going to give them a breather too, but very light breather. Very light, that they think they got it together. Like, oh, and they're wiping their nose, and then you hit them again with another fucking array of bullets. You know, but in a theater, when you come out first, it's the energy. You can't come out fucking around. You got to come out and get to it like if you're pissed. Like if you're fucking pissed. And then they get it. They're like, okay, but, you know, if you do a club, hi, my name is Lee. Don't forget, put away your phones. And I lost you. Put away your phones. And don't forget to go on the website to see what the upcoming acts are. Are you guys ready to have a good time? You know, you got to do that shit. But there's a way to do it.
Yeah.
Have a great fucking time with it. And then it doesn't even seem like you're really doing it, you know?
Yeah, and it's like I've been listening a little bit to some of like my older stuff, like when I first started. There's definitely a difference. But it's hard. Like I love when we have these talks and like you give me advice and I try to implement it. I genuinely will try to implement it. But it's almost some of them I'm like I don't know if I'm not ready to, or I just don't know how to really, because it's like, especially from like that because you have such, dude, when you're walking around and like you move, and especially like when you laugh at yourself, like all that stuff is something that like myself and I think comics at my level like look at and we want to do, but it's like it's like a language on top of the jokes.
It took years also. Remember, you're looking at 35 fucking years on stage.
Holy shit.
34 fucking years. You know, the only thing that I came back from those 2 sets last week were I'm writing a lot more. I'm not writing anything fucking funny, but I'm writing. And I'm writing twice a day. And that's a muscle right there. At least your thoughts are always racing. For a long time, I didn't do shit. I just wrote out like 3 sentences every day and something for my daughter or something like that. Now, I get up in the morning, I do some shit, I smoke some pot, and I fucking write. Once my wife goes for a walk at 7:15, I know I got 45 minutes of fucking peace. So I go right back in there again and attack it again. And then she gets home, I do what I got to do, I shower, I go out, and then I'll think about shit throughout the day. That's what I do in the drive. Turn the fucking music off and think about one fucking thing and beat it in your mind. I'd rather be doing it with a piece of paper.
Right.
But I don't have a piece of paper in the car, and I'll have, I have a car with 1,000 dents. So I fucking just, you just can't.
Right.
And I don't know what happened to my video thing in the car. I used to be able to go, suck my dick and tape it.
Right.
And then go home later on, but it disappeared. I got to go back and download the fucking app. So
I love when you say things like it's still there.
What do you mean?
I don't know, but like I don't think anything disappeared from your phone.
Nah, it's not there. I had the voice memo. It just went away. Dog, I don't know what I'm doing on this phone. Let's get something straight, okay, guys? And for the people at home, I don't know what I'm doing on these phones. I touch shit disappears, shit pops back up. I got the essential. I don't even put Twitter and Facebook on my phone. People think like I got fit. They message me, hey, man, we're here. Don't do it on fit. You're an hour away. I don't have any. You know why? I don't even want those on my phone.
And like just get like they'll distract you?
Instagram's on my phone, but I don't have fucking Twitter and the other fucking thing. It's one less thing to worry about.
Fuck. Have you?
I have that. I have Whoop. I have the things I open the most. I'll tell you right now. Whoop, DraftKings, Instagram, Apple Music, Weight Watchers, Lexus once in a while, the Zen Planner for jiu-jitsu, so you could schedule when you want to go to class and who's going to be there and shit like that. Beside that, there ain't much. I don't fuck around because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I got a calculator, I got a camera, I got a picture of a duck. I don't know what that motherfucker does. And then there's like a duck. I don't know what the fuck he does with money on him. SteamYard. Okay, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's how we used to do the old
I got
podcast.
a calendar. I got fucking productivity and finance. I don't know what any of these things are. Files, Coinbase, Dropbox, Meet Georgie. I don't even know it. Wallet,
Dude, it's one of my favorites. It's like one of the
teleprompter, notes. I don't even know how to work notes. It says iCloud Notes, and I don't even know where the fuck I go to there. And this is not good. This is not good. And people think like, oh, no. I got United. Okay, so you got to fly out of Newark. I got the important
But there's
shit.
no way you're pulling up the app at the airport either. Like you still use the paper.
They
or
bother me. And they fucking make me open United, but I always give them the phone. I just give it to them. There you go. Knock yourself out. See if you get the Wi-Fi. It ain't working for me. I don't even know what the fucking code is.
Dude, it was like, I think the first thing you had me do for you, like, because we met a few times in LA and we would hang out outside. And then one afternoon, you needed help on your laptop uploading a picture to Twitter. And it took me 30 seconds. And you looked at me and you said, you're an unadulterated genius. Like, it's so, dude, that was one of the funniest. It was just uploading a picture to Twitter.
So anybody that could do anything I can't do in my world is a genius. You have no idea how many mistakes I make. How many fucking people text me numbers, and I'll say, text me the address, and then I'll try to touch it and send it to somebody else, and I'll send them something completely wrong. They'll be getting directions to, like Pennsylvania. What the fuck were you sending me? I don't know. That's what my wife has to, drop a pin? Drop a pin. I don't even know how to drop a pin. How's that? Like, if you called me and said, drop a pin, I couldn't help you out at all. It looks like you're going to be lost like a motherfucker. I don't know any of that shit. I don't know how to Photoshop. I don't even know how to, like, put a picture on Instagram and put words under it.
Right.
Like, people put words under it and that shit. I don't know how to do that. I went to it one time, use a template and all that shit. I'm done. I'm done. I don't know, and I don't want to know. Forget about editing.
Right.
I've tried to be an editor 80 times. I've downloaded the Apple program because I heard that if you bought an Apple computer, you go to the Apple store and take classes, that you could sign up.
Yeah.
But every time I signed up, they didn't want to see me. The fucking class was packed. I went 3 places: Studio City, Culver City. Look,
Dude,
a year in advance.
Really?
Yeah. So what the fuck? You promised me fucking, how to do this shit for retards, and now you're not even letting me in the fucking class. It's like SAG-AFTRA. Before you join SAG-AFTRA, they won't tell you nothing. For you people at SAG-AFTRA at home, you got to go on the website and look to see what they offer, because they'll never tell you this shit. They'll never tell you this. SAG and AFTRA fucking put workshops on and acting classes with like fucking big-time people, but they don't send you an email. You got to dig deep and go, oh, my God. And then you sign up, and it's the same thing. Class is booked. You're sitting there all fucking day waiting for 6 o'clock so you can hit the link to sign up. You're right there at 5:59. You got the trigger finger. You took some Adderall, whatever the fuck you took, the speed in you.
Yeah.
You hit that motherfucker within 2 seconds. It's sold out. I never took an AFTRA fucking course. Ever. Fucking 20 years I applied for those things.
How, like, are you self-conscious about not being good on the computer and stuff? Or do you not give a shit?
What am I going to do? I don't trust myself on anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? I go up to my kitchen and it's those new stoves. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Everything's a beep, 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 beep. I don't know if the stove is on. I don't know. Listen, the first week I was in New Jersey, where nobody knows, we stayed at
Corporate housing.
And the girls would go to bed early. I was freaking the fuck out. I was living in anxiety. I could not sleep. So at night, I would make the Michael Jackson tea.
I forgot about
like
that.
3 coffees. I'd put a syringe of 1,000 milligrams. I put a handful of fucking ABXs. And I'd stare the thing because the ABXs would melt in there.
Right.
Oh, my God. I put a little fucking sugar in there to sweeten it up.
Yeah, I'm sure that one little bit of sugar helped.
So one night I drank one of those. And I was fucked up.
Yeah.
And about 2 in the morning, I go, you know what? I need another one of these to fall asleep at 4.
Oh.
I did the first one like at 11. Do you know I got so fucked up? Listen. It was a metal coffee pot. You know those pots you put in the thing? And they go, boo, when it's ready?
Yeah, the tea.
I was so fucked up. That thing went boo for like 3 hours. The metal collapsed. There was no water in it. It was burning. My wife woke up and she's like, "What's burning?" I go, "What's burning? I don't know." And she goes, "Jesus Christ, Joey. The thing was black. We had to take it out the next day and put it in the garbage before they charged me for it, like $82.
Jesus.
I had to go buy a new one and shit. I melted the thing.
You melted a metal teapot. And what, you just were too high and fell asleep?
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck happened. I just kept hearing beep, 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 boop, whatever the fuck. And in this new kitchen, I don't know how to do nothing. I know how to work the microwave.
Okay, that's a start.
But everything else is bullshit. And I'm the type of guy, I go for the ice machine and break. Like my wife is in there fucking getting ice cubes, crullers. I put my thing in. I got to turn the thing around, put my hand in there, and take a big fucking, snowman fucking piece of snow out. I don't have no luck. So my wife always goes, "Why don't you heat that food up?" I'm like, "Not in a fucking million years." Because that's a new stove. I don't know nothing about that thing. It makes a bunch of tick, 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 and then you turn it off and it still leaks gas. So I'm in the basement smoking a joint. Next thing you know, I got no head. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that shit. I'd rather starve to death. I won't cook a fucking thing in my house. One night I tried cooking eggs and the house almost blew up. I tried making scrambled eggs in the middle of the night.
Right.
As a cook, I'm fucking worthless. Guys, you got to understand something. I'm very lucky to have, to work hard to make people laugh. Because if I wouldn't, it would have been a fucking long life for me. I can't change a flat. There's a lot of things I can't I mean, you put a gun to my head, I could change a flat. For $15 an hour, I ain't changing your fucking flat. You could change your own fucking flat. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was things I couldn't do. Like,
right.
I just couldn't do. When I was younger, yeah, I could paint. I could roof, I was a sous chef for a few weeks, but I didn't like knives. I don't like working with fucking my fingers.
Oh.
You start talking shit. Next thing you know, I'm thummy. Fucking, I don't like none of that shit.
Oh, it gives me, I don't know
There
how
was
people
not
do
I
that.
could do. I was telling my friend retired. He's a cop. They gave him his military time. They mixed it with the police time. And he retired when he's 39.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for nothing. Because yesterday, he's telling me that, yesterday he's like, "I think I'm going to get a bus driver job in Marlboro and drive the kids and lift weights for lunch and then do the kids." And I go, "Doc, how long do you think this?" Plus, he was a fucking undercover cop. I go, "How long do you think this is going to last?" And he just looked at me. He goes, "Why?" I go, "That's not going to last." I go, "First off, we live in the most boring neighborhood in New Jersey. There ain't nobody out in the daytime. Not a soul. Like, you can't find a fucking soul out in my town unless you go to a gym.
Right.
If you go to the restaurants, it's 3-4 people. Nobody does anything in the daytime. But when I first moved here, and George will be my witness, I used to come up to North Bergen a lot more. And I stopped because I was driving an hour just to drop 150 on lunch and tolls and shit. And I would look for people in North Bergen. Like, seriously look. Like, I would go to the parks and shit. Like, let's see who's at the park drinking. And, dog, the same thing in my hometown. A town that every 3 blocks, you could see 3 people on a corner or 2 people walking somewhere and pull over and go, "Anybody see George?" "Yeah, he's at 64th Street Field." Boom. You take a bus, you go down to the field. "Yeah, they're having a party at whatever." That does not, when I leave here at night, I make it a purpose to go down Kennedy Boulevard. I make it a purpose to go down Kennedy Boulevard, and my heart breaks. Because there's a mile that you don't even see a fucking light. Not a fucking light. And what time do I leave here? 9:30? I know there's a curfew in my hometown for kids. I think so, 10 o'clock.
Whoa.
But still, it's 9:30. I would rock till 9:59. I'm out there fucking shooting bow and arrows like Rambo till 10:59, 9:59. There's not a soul out there. And let me put it even better for you. A couple of weeks ago, I went down Burger Line Avenue. If you think I wanted to cry on Kennedy Boulevard, I almost fucking stopped at my mother's bar and just cried. I knew that. Listen, I don't know a lot of pieces of land in Hudson County, but I knew one thing. I knew 29th Street all the way to 48th, where Cubaville opens up, where the Geno's used to be in the corner. I knew that. I knew that like the back of my hand. First of all, there was a movie theater on 45th and Bergen Line. And after that, there weren't a lot of things open, but there were things open. Last week I went down, I didn't see a light. There wasn't a business open after you hit 48th Street, past 29th. There's a head shop that's open till 10 or something on 17th Street. That's it. That whole block. That was New Moon Chinese restaurant. That was Hernandez Cuban restaurant. That was Pino's Pizzeria all the way down to fucking 23rd Street and Bergen Line. You had action. There ain't nothing there. There's nobody on the corners. Nobody. If you don't have a day job now in Jersey, you die. You fucking die.
I think that's what people like, though. Like, don't you think your buddy who was a undercover cop in the army like enjoys a little bit of peace, or no? You think like?
Listen, let's get something straight. I come from Central New Jersey, and everybody in this room will tell you. When I was growing up as a kid, we looked at Central New Jersey and said, "Fuck those rednecks," because that's exactly what they were. If you weren't from Hudson County, you were a farmer. It's like that expression: if you're not from Brooklyn, you're a farmer.
Okay.
You know, all this shit, Hudson County was fucking nice. Once Secaucus was a pig farm. Okay, that was a fucking pig farm. You drive through Secaucus, you still smell a little fucking, you still hear a little, yeah, whatever the fuck noise the pigs make. Bah, whatever the fuck they make.
That's a sheep.
You
I think
know?
it's oink.
And I love Central New Jersey where I live. But when I was a kid, let me tell you how this story goes. What's that when they say it's 60%? What's that when your world goes 60 degrees? When I was a kid in 1969, 70, 71, 68, that was my job, to go with the fucking Cubans who couldn't speak English, and I would get in the car with them in Harlem and go to Marlboro, New Jersey, because it was a farm. The whole town of Marlboro was a farm. It was a fucking farm, and they would buy the Santeria chickens to kill them.
Huh.
And the goats and the monkeys and everything else you bought down in South Jersey, so there was no paperwork. You bought them directly from the fucking farm. That's why it's very weird that I ended up back in Marlboro 50 fucking years. And let me put it this way. I used to go to Englishtown in 1976, 77, and 78. Every other Sunday, me and Frankie Balzano would drive to Englishtown and buy limousines for the feet for $7. They were irregular. This is way before, what's the clothing store that you give all the irregular stuff?
Ross, TJ Maxx.
Ross. You go in there, they have like the stitch says, well, I can't say what the stitch says, but instead of Nike, it's something else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
fucking Mikey. You know.
And who are you selling these irregular shoes to?
You'd bring them up north, and you fucking sell them for $15. Me and Frankie, $7 every Sunday. We'd go down there, buy all the sizes from 8 to fucking 13, and take our chances.
But
And that was
where?
that was a flea market down there.
Oh, okay.
It's still there. What's it called? Englishtown Flea Market.
Right, but you'd buy them there. Where would you sell these shoes?
Up here, you fuck.
To who?
To
Are you just
kids
walking
on the
around and you
street.
want some shoes?
Kids whose parents won't give them $19.99. Those sneakers were like $22. If you saved $7, you follow what
You're
I'm
good to
saying?
go. Okay.
You didn't get a box. That's it.
Okay.
You didn't get a box. Who needs a box for $7?
Fuck it.
They're irregular. Nobody's going to see that the star is a little smaller on this side. It was a hustle, but there was nothing down there.
Right.
And I'm not, it was a different, like I remember going to a fucking, like one of those bowl nights, like December 29th, 30th, like that. I was probably a senior in high school, and a buddy of mine picked me up with like 3 other kids. And then we picked up like 2 other savages, and we were going to somewhere like an hour away. His cousin had told him there was a party over there. And I'll never forget, we walked into that party, and we're like, what the fuck is going on here? Within 10 minutes, one of us was in the bedroom stealing, robbing the house, jewelry, and then we passed around. Then they passed around the hat, the people, because we got there, and they're like, you guys got to chip in. They passed around the hat, and I'm not going to tell you who from North Bergen took the hat, took the cash out, put it in his pocket, and threw the hat back at them and says, we're out of here. It was like $40. And he just took the hat. And I'll never forget walking out of there, and the people were like shambled. It's like, you guys are criminals. You're animals. You're savages and all this shit. We just got in the car and left. And I'm like, that was easy. That was fucking easy. Like they were just, it was like a different world.
That was, yeah. Dude, I think, honestly, the majority of people now, if you work a 9 to 5, if you're actually at the office, by the time they get home, they Uber Eats, they watch TV. Like I don't think people go out and do anything.
Hold on. Let's hold on to that thought. We got to take a breather. We got to talk to you about Huel. I got to take a little pee-piece, and I'll be right back. Stay black. Hey, Uncle Joey here. If you're tired of skipping meals and starving throughout your day, just drink Huel. Huel is a complete meal in a bottle that you can take on the go. One bottle of their Black Edition, ready to drink, has 35 grams of protein, 27 vitamins, minerals, tons of fiber, low sugar. Just gulp and go. Listen, I love the chocolate. It tastes tremendous. When I get home from a nice workout, I chug a bottle of this stuff, and it's tremendous. There's no prep. There's no cleanup. Just grab a bottle and go. If they even send you a little shaker, you could put this in it and drink it. Start saving time and money without compromising your nutrition today with my exclusive offer for new customers. You ready for this one? And you don't want to miss on this. 15% off plus a free gift using code CHURCH, CHURCH at Huel.com. Again, that's 15% off plus a free gift for new customers by pressing in my exclusive code, CHURCH, CHURCH at Huel.com. Please see our description for terms and conditions. Skip the stress, not the nutrition. Try Huel today for complete nutrition bottle, Jack. Ooh. Yummy. We're back, savages. So, Lee, you were saying that people work all day, and then they go home, they Uber Eats, and they stream a show.
And that's, dude, I think, because that's how I got really fat. When I first moved to LA, I worked 10 to 7, and I didn't want to even stop at a restaurant or cook, so I would pick up fast food. But I think now, yeah, I think a lot of people.
Now, you live in New York City.
I don't do that, but
the mecca of fucking everything.
Uh-huh.
What do you see when you go out to do comedy at night? Like, what do you see?
So my problem is like, I only got here in September. To me, I do see people out, but I have to be honest, other than like a Times Square or like, you know, the parks, like where people are supposed to be, it's not jam-packed a lot. And I've talked to people who have been there for a while, and it does seem less. But I think like New York, or honestly any city, I think is different. That's why I've always loved cities, because there's always someone outside.
Well, let's say like, what's the latest you stayed out in New York walking around the streets? Like from a comedy show, you and 2 comics.
2-something.
Stop.
Probably.
And what's on the streets at 2-something? Are there bars with 20,000 people in it, or?
Not usually. No, I honestly haven't. It was the one bar that I saw that was packed this week was a gay bar, which I thought was great.
They're always packed. They're giving out yum juice in there. Those fucking gay guys, they don't stream TV. They don't eat that shit from fucking Uber Eats. They eat cock and carrot juice. You know what I'm saying? They're out. They're out. And they drink and they snort coke and they do methadone pills. Then they go to the gym and work out like savages, you know? So here's my point, okay? 40 years ago, right now, in 1985, I was living with George. I stayed with George for about 6 months. And George would tease me. George would say, you're not going to go out? George used to go out 4 nights a week. The weekends with his friend Sammy, and then during the week with a girl and whatever. He would go to the fucking bicycle club. He would go to all these clubs, you know? And he would ask me every night, you don't want to go out? I just didn't like it. There was certain nights, but we did go out. We went to a club one night when I robbed a gas station to celebrate. I took him into the city to a club, and then, but besides that, when I like going out, but this is what I like. Like a month ago, I went out 2 months ago. I stayed out till 2 a.m. That's fucking rare. But I'm not going to lie to you. I had a fucking good time. I ate some mushrooms. I was at a strip club. All the chicks looked purple to me. You know, they would work me for $1 and I would giggle in their face. It was fun, you know? It was fun. You're talking to other people. But for me to get dressed on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday, come up here, picnic up, to go into the city to have dinner, to meet a bunch of people, to go to a club, I'd rather fucking stick knives in my eyeballs.
Dude.
I'd rather stick knives in my eyeballs. Again, I was also the type of kid that if you caught me on a good night, I mean, I still remember lifting weights with lubes at 5:30 and hearing that Prince was going to play with Nucleus and Sheila E. for $15, and we made it by 8 o'clock.
That's cool.
Into the city. I like all that type of shit. When I don't have that shit about let's go see Guns N' Roses in June, and then we're gonna cargo. What's that shit they call outside in front of the stadium and
Tailgate.
No, that's gone. We don't tailgate. We get there fucked up. Okay, we're fucked up.
Yeah, you can tailgate with drugs.
Nah, but it's not. No, you can't, because there's fags out there and white people who'll rat you out. You can't put a mirror on top of your hood and smoke coke on it no more. That ship sailed. And that's exactly what we were doing. But to get to the point here, I wasn't an out guy then. Every once in a while I got a feather up my ass, and I go, you know what am I going to do at home? The girls are sleeping. What the fuck? I might as well. The other night from Philadelphia, I had that kid in the car. Whatever. On the way home, we talked. I didn't need him talking to me. I liked that he was there. He's a great kid. But that talking took away from my thought. I dropped him off and went for a ride. And I went to a bar and I had a fucking martini.
You had a fucking martini?
By myself. That's how much I needed. When I called my wife at 10 and she's like, I'm going to be going to sleep. And Mercy just made cookies. We're going to be in bed. I'm not going to sit there by myself and then trip in the basement. That's what happens. The four walls close in on a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So that's what the ride home is for me.
Uh-huh.
That's what the ride home is for me, to see what happened, how did it happen, why did I say that joke. That's what it is. It's like I don't need a tape recorder. I don't want a tape recorder. It's in my head already. It's in my head.
You can remember the whole thing?
Pieces of it. And then you call me and fill me in.
Yeah, I try to, but dude, you need a tape recorder.
I don't like listening to my voice. So
no one does.
Never going to happen.
Dude, the reason why your joke works for me is because that's what my voice sounds like. I hate listening to my voice.
Anyway, nobody likes your fucking voice, all right? Go fuck
Thank you.
I like your voice, okay? You have a very nice Jewish voice.
I appreciate it.
But, all right. Then I left George and went to Colorado, and I wasn't going out in Colorado. I was snorting coke. Big difference. Going out and doing blow is a big difference. Yeah, once I started making money selling cars, I would go to, what's the hamburger place? That there's one in by my house that they have unless French fries.
Red Robin.
Red Robin. Red Robin used to have tremendous drinks in Boulder. They used to have a Coco Loco. I'd buy a gram of Coke, put it in my pocket, go over there, get 2 Coco Locos, maybe a top shelf margarita, and I'd do 2 bumps. Once the Coke started hitting me, I stopped at the liquor store right there in Boulder, picked up my fucking 6-pack, and went home. And that's what I did. I didn't like being out in public when you're that high. At that point, I didn't like it. So I never really liked going out. And then I did something for a guy who, I still remember being at Corky's and going, I can't wait till I move to Colorado. I'm never going to a fucking bar again. And I didn't. And I never did. But guess what happened in 1991? I decided to get on stage. And I'm like, no matter how you cut it, now you got to be out at night.
You're in a bar every night.
And
multiple
I fucking
bars.
hated it. I fucking hated it. But then once I got into comedy, I started to enjoy it. And the first 5 years, you're in a fucking bar anyway.
Oh, constantly.
Okay, so from 1991, let's clean this up. From October of 93 to June of 2004, I got on stage almost every night. Almost every night. The first time I took a break was when I started shooting The Longest Yard, because they had no comedy in Santa Fe, New Mexico. I went to a couple strip clubs and talked to them about it, and they're like, nah, nothing happens in here. Nah.
I'm surprised you didn't somehow try to convince the other comics on the movie to do a show for the...
Tracy Morgan wasn't there for longer than like 4 days, so
right.
Nobody, and you had to go to Albuquerque.
Right.
And Albuquerque is the quick. If you want to get stabbed, go to Albuquerque. Go to fucking Albuquerque. Something always bad happens in Albuquerque when I'm there. So I'd rather not be there. But that was my life.
Yeah.
I remember like going, tonight I still remember getting an audition for NYPD Blue. And going, I'm going to stay in tonight because I'd never seen NYPD Blue. 1997, I was doing stage comedy every night. Got to remember, I did not have a TV after I needed Coke money, and I sold my Trinitron for like $100. I didn't have a TV after February. From February of 95 to June of 95, I did not have a TV. There was no reason for me to be home. I did that on purpose. I didn't want to be home. You're not going to get funny at the house.
Right.
Come home at 2, snort Coke, do whatever you want, but that's how I prepared myself for those times. I was broke anyway. I couldn't afford cable and the whole fucking box. I had to steal it. Forget it. I just not have a fucking TV. And I did that. And I fucking, like, you know, when you're out doing comedy, you're doing blow, you're having a good fucking time. And then I stopped doing blow. And that was it. Like, my life changed because I didn't want to be freaky no more. I didn't want to be out of my mind anymore. And I knew that by going home, I wouldn't get in trouble, because you can't get in trouble at the house unless you stab your wife. Nothing bad's going to happen to you at the house, you know? And now, at my age, this is all I want. I want somebody to pick me up at 5 after 7 with a joint and an idea. All right? Maybe 2 joints. We go somewhere, we get out of the car, we smoke 1 joint, we get back in the car, we go for a ride, we smoke another joint, and then we take a ride to get something to eat, like a milkshake. If you bring me back home by 9 o'clock, I'll never bother you again. My wife won't even hear about it. Just that hour and a half, 2 hours, is all I need. I don't need to go to Studio 54. I don't need to go to the city to talk to people. I don't need to go to a comedy club to talk to people. Seriously. And that's how I've always been.
Yeah.
The greatest times I've ever had in this area was when Lubes would pick me up at 7:45. We'd go over the bridge, buy a bag of weed, roll it, smoke it on the way down the West Side Highway, pull over on 12th Avenue, get a pretzel and a hot dog, and come back to Lincoln Tunnel. And then come up fucking through Hudson County Park, back to fucking Kennedy Boulevard. That was the best times of my life. I could do that 5 nights a fucking week and stop somewhere different to get something to eat. A slice of pizza, and I'll put it in my food budget. I'll eat earlier. I'll eat like at 5, because I know I'm going out at 10 after 7 to get something.
Right.
A Sicilian, maybe we'll stop and get a fucking bar pie, you know?
Oh, dude, I couldn't relate to anything more than you just
just
said.
told me a couple weeks ago, she goes, why don't you get an apartment up there for the summer so you can see your friends, you're closer to George. And I told her, I said, here's the deal, Terry. Like I'm telling you guys and I'm telling people at home. This has all changed. Nightlife has changed in my area. This is not, you started at Barone's, then you went and had a drink at the Midtown, then you went over here and talked to this guy. Mm-hmm. That's non-existent in this world. If I come up here, it's basically to go to Rudy's at 9. Get a cup of soup, smoke a joint with George, and then either I go to his house, or we come here, or I go to Nick's house. And we smoke weed, we put a movie on, catch the last half of a basketball game, baseball game, and then I go home at 10 o'clock. I'm not going to move up here to jump up and down. It's not going to be the same thing. If I get in my car right now and go looking for somebody, I could paste a $300 bill on my fucking forehead and drive up and down Kennedy looking for 1 joint. I'll give you $300. You'll never find it. There's not a kid hanging out. There's not a parent hanging out. There's nobody grilling in the front there. Nothing.
And but here's the thing,
Life has changed, Liam. Right. You're right. But I don't fucking think young kids, 22, 23, I don't see it, but I do. I do see them go home, get their little blankie, get their fucking computer game out, stream one of those fag shows on Netflix, and order some fucking Indian food from some store with their girlfriends. They're both wearing sandals. You know, I could see that. You know, I could see that this youth is going for that. That's not what I'd be doing.
Right.
That's not what I'd be fucking doing.
It does blow my, because there are people who do that in New York, and I don't get that at all.
Right now I'm the type of guy that George says to me, dog, let's get in the car. Let's go to, there's a little fucking Chinese restaurant on Park Avenue. Right in North Bergen, it looks like they bombed it. Every time you go there, it's all steamed up. You can't see the Chinese people inside. But they make a nice pork fried rice. If you want to get a container of pork fried rice and sit on the street and eat it with a Schnapple, with a napkin, I'm in. I'm one of those guys. I don't need to sit in there at night. But then some night we're going to get really high, and Nick's going to go, let's go down the river, whatever, and get a steak with river palm and get a steak with mashed potatoes with a salad like a motherfucking dessert. And don't worry about nothing. Just come to the 34th floor and you can sleep on the floor.
Yeah, but I got it. That all sounds great. But you're also a comic. Like you wouldn't be moving up here to like have like a nightlife. Like your night. But if you were gonna
no. I said nightlife, but that's not a nightlife. That's a fucking Joey Diaz life.
Right.
That's not a nightlife. I mean,
you're saying just for any normal person.
Listen, here's how fucking lazy I am. If I moved up here, how many nights you think I'm actually going to go to the ferry and go over there and do comedy? That's not going to happen either.
3?
Maybe.
I think you do 3 every other night.
But I'll tell you what, it's a lot different doing this shit in the spring and summer
than it
is in the winter.
Oh, dude, it's great right now.
You know, at 7 o'clock when you walk on, when that Uber drops you off in there, it's fucking beautiful at 7 o'clock. And you walk out to that fucking thing and there's everybody's coming back and you're going over, you know?
Right.
So you go over there, you get on there, get an Uber, go to Gotham, wherever. Like when I was here for the Soprano movie, I fucking love it. I come over, go to fucking Rudy's, what's this other place? Toppers. We went a couple places at night, and I would still be over the bridge by fucking 9. I'd be ashamed. All of us would eat, and we'd look at each other. Hey, are you tired? Yeah, I'm so tired. Fuck.
Yeah.
I remember going over there to a hotel like at 9 and just going up to the roof to smoke every hour on the hour. And I'm up at like 1, and I'm like, I'm fucking starving. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to eat? And I went downstairs, and the lady's like, you go wherever you want. This is open. But if you want, go to Wohop. And I remember going, I can't go to Wohop by myself. It was 1:30 in the morning. And then finally, like at 2, I'm like, this is getting serious now. I'm getting hungry. Yeah. And I called down there like at 3:30, and they was still open. We opened till 5. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yep.
Oh, this is going to get ugly up in this bitch.
Oh,
I missed that.
Yeah, that's great.
Because I don't know what. But see, again, guys, I don't stay up late anymore. But when you stay up and you roll a little number, maybe you scroll the TV and Rambo 2 is coming on HBO, and you're like, fuck it. I'm going to go smoke a couple numbers, go upstairs, get some Chips Ahoy, or whatever the fuck you don't know. You can't, like, I don't plan for that because it doesn't. Sundays, it's been happening.
You stay up late?
I go to bed late, and then I get up like at 5. And I watched the worst show on fucking the thing, but it's my favorite show. It's the worst. This season 4 has just depressed me more than anything in the world. Malcolm X is making dream comebacks and shit. I don't need it. Godfather of Harlem. Oh boy,
it's not good.
Yeah, the producers moved on. They got like 18 different shows. The Chin is gone. Vincent Gigante went to some, a different show. He's doing something for Marvel or one of those motherfuckers, and the show is brutal. It is brutal. My wife goes, how come you don't let me watch it? I goes, I don't want you to watch it. I don't want you to laugh at me. It's fucking god-awful. The fucking Tupac's mother is in it now, and she became a Black Panther, and fucking...
So why don't you give up? Just tell it. You could just be done with the show.
I'll give up at the end of the season. I don't think Bumpy's going to make it. I think Frank Lucas is going to kill him. So,
okay.
Because Frank Lucas is coming on the scene with Joe Colombo, and fucking Bumpy's getting old. He just had a heart attack. So shit's happening in Harlem right now.
So that's what you do on Sundays now? Is you wake up early and watch
I'll wake up
show?
early just to watch it alone. I'll get high and I'll go back to bed.
Is it because you're embarrassed by it? Or
Yeah,
you wake up early?
I can't have my wife walking into me watching that show. She'll go, Joey, what the fuck is going on here?
I don't think they're not doing it to jerk off.
And they
doing it to watch the show.
took like another $1 million from production. So the production looks like it's a high school thing. Like the other day he was in the hospital. Dog, it was not a hospital. It was not a hospital. No fucking way. It's just not. I don't like when they do that to shows.
Remember that Clint Eastwood movie where it was like the sniper one? I already made fun of it for years, but they had like a baby in the movie, but Clint Eastwood just had them have like a toy baby. and it like was in the movie. Like it was obviously not a real baby. Like that's crazy when they.
You'd be surprised what isn't real, like animals.
The animals aren't real.
No.
What
They're
are
like
they?
petrified animals, and the camera moves and the editing. They put like a real fucking animal. Then they pull them away and they put like a fake, and then you shoot the fucking thing, it explodes.
Oh
They
yeah,
shoot
the
it
ones
from the other
exploding.
side.
I figured weren't
Whatever
real.
you could do with a camera is brilliant. What they can do with a camera, they can make you believe anything.
Yeah,
So it's
but
pretty.
if it's that bad,
Like today, oh yeah. And that Godfather of Harlem, oh my God, he crashes into somebody. It's a guy with a beard that crashes in, and then fucking Pino comes out, and he's got like an Italian guy. I'm like, there was a terrorist just driving that fucking car. I thought it was jihad in Brooklyn. And now the guy's got a beard. Like they couldn't even. A lot of movies, I look for that stupid shit.
yeah.
Like when people fall off a cliff or something, how they tuck their head, or they'll put like a wig on, and you see the wig fly off. Shit like that.
What was the De Niro one where like you could see it was a casino where they blew up the car at the end?
Yeah.
But they had like a dummy in the car that like it was like a frame they just cut. Like
Yeah.
the editing was just a little weird.
And sometimes they do. The editor goes, "Let's leave it in to fuck with people." It's like if you watch the first Brad Pitt and George Clooney when they rob people.
Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11. Watch the first one. There's a scene where they do that to fuck with people. Brad Pitt is eating a shrimp cocktail.
Okay.
He's eating it off a dish, dipping it in the thing. The next scene, he's got the shrimp cocktail the way a
Really?
shrimp cocktail is supposed to come. That's a huge fucking motion picture. That's a huge George Clooney and Brad Pitt and 8 other fucking animals. You got 8 eyes looking at that. Not one person. That's how fucking monotonous something could get. Like if you keep looking at something over and over,
Right.
it just gets that monotonous. When I see it, I'm like, oh, there's a couple Sopranos where you see the boom.
Yeah, really?
Couple Sopranos where you see the fucking boom. You know, and dog, it's a busy day. It's 13 hours. You've been there since 6. This guy didn't show up. This woman's pussy hurts. Everybody's complaining. They can't find the missing shoe. And all of a sudden, you just want to get out of there. And you shoot through it, and whatever the eye is used to, it's like when you go home. You ever go home and look at the mirror when you get ready? We all get ready. You know, it's not that you look in the mirror, look at my fucking hair. No, I got 3 hairs left. You know. But I don't give a fuck who you are. Look at your home mirror and then go to Vegas and take a shower and go in the mirror with your clothes on. You're going to go, what the fuck happened? I aged. I got fatter. I got skinnier. My feet look big because your mirror, you see what you want to see. On that Vegas mirror, that motherfucker don't lie. That's the real deal. That's who's the chick who looks at the mirror, mirror on the wall? Same fucking thing. Who's the
Snow
ugliest
White?
motherfucker of them all? Jesus Christ, it's me. That's what the fucking problem is there.
Could you imagine if you had a mirror that talked to you and told you what you look like?
I'm thinking of making one. That's a good idea. I'm going to patent it. You look like Dick. You look like a fucking sack of shit. Okay? With that fucking shirt on. Where the fuck are you going? But it's really weird what I look for at night in nightlife. Now, I'm not looking. Dog, I could never. The only way I could stay up till 1 is if me and George had a coffee now. And I did like something like half a mushroom or another taffy. I'd be up till 1, maybe 2. I got nowhere to be tomorrow till 11. So I don't give a fuck. But that won't stop me. I'll go to bed at 2, but at 6:30, that cat will be waking me up. And then I'll get up. And then I'll actually get up, drink coffee, do what I got to do in the morning, talk to my wife. And sometimes once she leaves, I'm like, I'm showered. I'm going back to bed. Fuck it. I go back to bed for another hour. I get up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need my 8 now. So, but no, I'm not looking to be Johnny Bananas. It's like Game 7 of the Knicks the other day, Game 6. I love what I do. I love that I'm a comic and I lucked out and shit works out to me. But that doesn't give me the right to dress up like a fucking clown and buy tickets I can't afford to go to a Knick game, to jump up and fucking down like I'm somebody. You know what I'm saying? And you watch it. Listen, you want to go to a Knick game and hide? When you see, what's his name? The guy who dated his daughter,
Woody Allen.
the Chinese girl.
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen. Remember he used to go to Knick games? He didn't sit in the front. He sat in the corner because he knew he was doing something evil. The real gangsters don't want to be seen.
It does seem like that when you watch like the
That's what
front row of the
everything has
NBA.
become. That's what everything has become. When you go to those, when you look at those Knick games, here's the sad fucking thing. Those first 10 rows, they're not even there to watch the game. You can see it on the TV screen. They're talking to each other. They're looking at their sunglasses. They're looking at the phone. They're not there. They just want to tell their friends, I went to the Knick game last night. Oh, my God, how was it? It was so exciting. No, you didn't even watch. You couldn't wait for the game to end, so you go home to your fucking ugly cat. You know? The fuck is wrong with people?
No, it's for them to take an Instagram picture.
That's it. But that's every game you see. Not if you're watching like Memphis or, Oklahoma City or Denver. But L.A. Lakers is the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
The Garden is the same thing. Miami, who's in the audience.
Dude,
And that just, and then people, I don't know. It just sucks. I think it's just, I don't know. You have to pull up to the side of the Garden for a limo to pull you up. It's just, I don't know, man. It's not for me. I just want to fucking move in darkness.
Yeah. You never want to be seen.
I don't want to be fucked. You know why? And to act that way bothers me. Like to act that way. Like there's only one time I had a good time when somebody put a camera on me, and that was last year at the UFC.
Oh, that was cool.
Because I knew that dude. I know him. So he asked me, and I was like, I don't know. And they were all talking about it. They go, give it a shot. And then he came back, and then he came back another time. And they were like, no, that's it. But that dude didn't. But I see that dude all the time. He's been with the UFC for I don't know how fucking long. But that shit makes me feel like I would hate to get caught on the camera when you have to kiss somebody.
You don't like the kiss cam?
I mean, you're sitting next to, I don't know.
Your wife, hopefully.
Yeah, let's say I'm sitting next to my wife. I don't mind kissing her, but it's just, I don't like kissing somebody on the spot. That's like fucking playing fucking spin the bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Could you propose at a stadium? Like people do that?
No. I saw that the other day. The chick pitched and she turned around and he's on one knee like a faggot. Because what if she says no?
Oh, I know.
That's fucking life-changing. That's worse than your team losing and you got the jackal in the helmet on like a fucking 10-year-old. So I proposed to Terry on the phone.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, on the fucking phone. That's how normal people do it. I got to make an event. I got to make an event and put a bird trail on a sign that says, I love you, Terry, and I got to get on my one knee like a fucking idiot. That's what you did in 19th century, right? When you had the bow and arrow. That's not even the bow and arrow, a little after that, like before the Titanic, like the Titanic.
Yeah, okay.
You got to come to a woman's house with a hat on your chest. Charlie-o, I'm here to pick up Cynthia. And where do you plan to take Cynthia? I plan to take her for some tea and then maybe see a concert. And who's performing? Oh, my goodness. Have you heard of the White Rail? Oh, we love the White Rail. Oh my
You'd have to
God.
court them.
Huh?
It was like courting.
Yeah, you have to court
you ask the
them,
parents'
and then
permission.
the parents come out with you the first time, and you're just trying to fucking get a piece. And they're watching you like fucking you're a kidnapper. You know what I'm saying?
Do you do you think now you would have texted her? Like I can't dude, I've never heard of anyone getting proposed to over the phone.
I was with her for 9 years. You don't need the drama. That's it. Do you ever see Pretty Woman? The best part of Pretty Woman was when she's talking to Richard Gere, and she's waiting for Richard Gere to make a move. And Richard Gere shows up with strawberries, and what else did he show up with? Champagne. Remember? And she was eating the strawberries, and he's like, slow down. You got to fucking, because she's an animal. And all of a sudden, she looks at him and goes, listen, before we get this started, I'm a sure thing. Okay?
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm a sure thing. So knock it off with the romance and the fucking, I'm here to fuck. You paid me $2,000. There ain't no looking back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I don't need strawberries.
No. I'm a sure thing. That's it. When you're with somebody for 9 years, she's a sure thing. She ain't going nowhere.
Right. But how's
she going to carry all the cats out by herself? It's a sure fucking thing.
You could take 2 trips, but dude, how did that conversation lead up to it? Why? Were you planning on proposing?
Not at all. Not at all. I was clean off the coke for about a year. I was finally stabilized. And I was looking at her. And you can love a woman with all your heart, all right? You can love a woman with all your... Now, listen, I came from the fucking 70s where you meet a woman, you take her home, and whatever happens, happens. If she ain't got no family, ain't no sense of marrying her, getting stuck with the tab and fucking, no. You understand me? Like, I came from a different time. She's your woman. You don't need no fucking document to prove that she's your woman. At the end of the day, every man in this room would not get married unless they're for her parents or your parents. Mm-hmm. So I was just living with her. I was already married. I failed at it. Who would want to marry a guy that was already married and failed on it? Why would you want to fail? Because then you kept falling into that stupid fucking, oh, I've been married for 4 times. You're a fucking loser. You're a fucking loser.
2 is a lot different than 4.
Yeah, but after the first time, you're a fucking loser, okay? You failed at the basic communication. Basic. It's a man and a woman. You fucking got an F. Things happen. I get it. Things happen. That's not what happened with me and my ex-wife. Things happen. But, when you're with somebody that long, it's like we what these idiots call my ride and die, and they don't even know what they're talking about.
Right.
They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. Everybody's pissed off. Everybody's putting something online right now. I don't know how I feel about David Portnoy. I know he's a great fucking guy and he's helped a lot of businesses and shit. Sometimes he pisses me off with the shit he says, but you gotta love what the man said last week on Club Shay Shay. He said you hear that? He broke up with his wife, they're divorced, but she still has access to the fucking account.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
And he goes, why'd you do that? He goes, because she was with me when I couldn't afford a hamburger. In. That's it. That's what people forget all the time. So most guys leave, and that's what he did. He got a 26-year-old. You got a young chick, whatever, but you forgot about that fucking cheeseburger. Like, I still have the first TV me and that woman bought. And I'm a fucking animal. Everybody knows I'm a fucking animal. I have nothing from my youth. I fucking stole people's houses that were holding my stuff. I robbed 2 people who were holding my stuff. I lost it all. But there's people who, and it's, I didn't know I was going to get married. I just knew she was sad about something. She had gone home and her brother and sister-in-law were about to have their second kid. And she's fucking around with me for 9 years. We're still living in a 1-bedroom fucking apartment studio. We share a fucking car. A woman at one point goes, what the fuck? And I don't blame you. 9 years, like I say all the time, you could suck dick in an apartment, you could suck dick in a mansion. I'd rather suck dick in a mansion with silk sheets and a guy playing the violin, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your church is nice and clean. You don't have to get up and go to work. But, so I don't know, Lee. I went to this thing that day and I talked to a friend of mine, Santeria Babalao. He was my kung fu teacher. And one day I went over there for a read. And when I do Santeria stuff, the male saints don't ever fucking bother me. They always say, like, don't hang out on the corner, or don't carry a weapon, or don't drink, shit like that. It's before I leave, the women saints always raise their fucking hands. And they always got something to say. You got to do this, you got to do that. You got to treat this person better, you got to do this. And you understand when they say it to you. They don't say it to you like, you got to be nicer to Lee. They don't tell you that. They say something else to you, and when you get in the car, you're like, I know what they're talking about. And he was telling me that this saint kept throwing up, that I couldn't let this woman go. The woman I had, don't let her go. Because at that point, I'm like, I ain't doing nobody no favors. You got to be honest with yourself. I ain't doing her no favors. She's a pretty girl. She's got 3 or 4 more years before she could have a kid. She'd go back to Oklahoma, where my wife is from, Tennessee, and meet a cowboy. Is it going to hurt me? Yeah. But in the long run, I'm going to be a better man for it. And whatever that guy said to me, I'll never forget. I got in the car, and I called my wife from the car. I put the air on, and I'm like, listen, here's the deal. Let's get married, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to call your dad. That I did do. I called her dad. He didn't even know what I was talking about. What? Yeah, I'm gonna marry your wife. What? Yeah, I'm gonna marry your wife. Really? Yeah. You know, that's exactly what I did. The wedding cost us $1,000, guy.
That never happened.
You didn't need pigeons. We didn't need white people jumping up and down in a band and somebody banging a glass and making believe you love each other. And my love this is my new sister-in-law. We don't need that. We don't need that. That's for fucking people who want to show you something. That's for that fat chick that never had dick. Then she gets married at 48. She's got to show everybody she's married now. Fucking the dress don't even fit no more.
I think she might have earned it at 48.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
So what did you get for $1,000?
Well, we got the cake, a dress, my wedding band, decorations, because the Hollywood Bowl gave us the lounge for free. We got Cuban food from El Cochinito, pork chunks. We got fried chicken from Ralph's, from Rock and Roll Ralph's, has the best fried chicken. And we got pastrami from Langer's. And fucking, and that was it. And we told people they have to bring a gift. And it was on a Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put anybody out. Because when you have a fucking wedding on a Saturday, you put me the fuck out. Okay, that's 8 hours out of my fucking day. Let's narrow that down. We got married in one of those chapels on Wilshire. You walk in, the midget comes out in a tuxedo, bop, bop, bop. You sign. We got in the fucking car and drove a half a mile up to the fucking Hollywood Bowl. Everybody came with jeans and T-shirts. I did not give a fuck. And it was perfect. And 16 years later, we're still fucking together. Yes, so you want to talk to me about having pigeons and kissing everybody and white people, everybody dressed in white suits, and you don't need that shit at the end of the day. But you got to convince this chick you're marrying that. That's the problem. You got to convince this poor girl that since she's been 8, she's having a dream to marry a prince, and you're going to come in on a white horse, and the dad's going to pay for everything. You know, that's the problem you have. It's pretty tough to convince a woman that we're not going to get married like that. For what? For your fucking goofy friends? For those retards? No. I'm not getting married. We're getting married for us.
I agree with that, and I will say, because like I was teasing you when you reminded me about proposing over the phone, but like there's a lot of people who are really unhappy in marriages and who are just like they felt like they had to do it, or they were giving up because they were getting older, or like for a million reasons people get married that they shouldn't, and like like you said, you're about to hit it. We talked an episode or two ago about 25 years.
3 episodes about 35-year-old women.
Oh no, but yeah, that too.
About 35-year-old women and 40-year-old men. I mean, listen, the biggest thing in this country right now is loneliness. Okay? You see it every day. You read about it. People they've depended on this online dating, and it's taken them out of going to bars and talking to people. They depended too much on online dating. Guys my age are supposed to be really fucking bored. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. That's why I do what I do. People my age get a dog. At least they walk a dog 3 times a day, and you lose your mind. You talk to the dog. You buy cookies for whatever the fuck you do. But right now, a lot of people are fucking lonely, dog.
Yeah.
And it's hard to meet people. Very hard to meet women, but I believe in something. There's an ass for every chair. Okay? And you just got to get out there. And I've seen it. I've seen it. I've fucking seen it right in front of my eyes. Chicks that can't catch a break and they marry some white dude and boom, they have a kid. And, I just saw a girl on Facebook. I remember when this girl was struggling. She's a fucking producer now. Her and her husband started producing fucking films. They had a kid. I know this girl 20 fucking years. She was an assistant. I believe in it. I seen it. It's just believing that you're going to meet somebody nice and fucking dropping your fucking whatever.
Your guard.
Because everybody wants a beauty queen. Oh. But you're 50, you're missing a tooth. You live in your mother's basement. What's going to happen? What fucking beauty queen are you going to draw? Take what you want. Take what you can get. Like the man says, what's Stella say? You can't get what you want, but you get what you need, okay?
Have you ever had that conversation with a friend, like you need to lower your standards?
No. Because they got no standards. I got friends that got no standards.
That's true.
You a little bit. George got no standards.
No, well,
He hooks up with a chick. Next thing you know, he's driving to the chemo. You know, he don't give a fuck. Next thing you know, where are you, George? I'm at chemo. I got to call you back. I regret this piece of pussy. Yeah, you're going to glow in the dark now. Because she sucks your dick with that chemo juice in her mouth.
I don't know where to go from chemo juice, to be very honest with you.
Chemo juice is chemo juice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you. I had a good time with you guys today. I hope you have a great week. I want to thank...
We had Blue Chew and we had Huel.
And Huel, I want to thank them for sponsoring us. And I want to thank you guys. What do you got this week, Cinderella?
This week, I'm all over New York throughout the week. Check out my Instagram. And yeah, I got shows coming up.
Why don't you tell them?
So Broadway Comedy Club on Wednesday night. Tuesday night, I'm at Sheba's at the Three Monkeys Bar. And then Friday night at midnight, I'm on the Upper East Side. I'll have an exact date for you.
You see? I got nothing. I got nothing all week. I might pop up somewhere. I don't know. I got nothing. I got problems. I got to go to the doctor on Wednesday, and that tells me whether they're going to put me back in the hospital for good, and we won't be doing this podcast live no more. We're doing it. Nah, you'll be here with fucking the boys, and I'll be in the hospital room coming direct from fucking... I can't even do this. I'll be missing an ear. I'll just be on this hand here. I'll be around, cocksuckers. Thank you for watching and listening. Stay black. Hey, Uncle Joe here. It's a beautiful day to be alive. I want to talk to you about Blue Chew. Listen, even if the rest of your life is a disaster, you can at least have some great sex with Blue Chew. In other words, you could sling dick like a fucking animal. Blue Chew helps men be stronger, harder, and longer lasting. So you have the time to pull out all your tricks in the bedroom. Listen, you could be giving her a stabbing and breaking bottles against the wall. The next day, people say, how was the sex? It was tremendous. There was a lot of stuff going on in that room. Listen, just sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers. And once you get approved, your prescription will be at your doorstep in days. You're going to love it. The mailman don't even know what he's delivering. Make life easier by getting harder and discovering your options at BlueChew.com. And we got a special deal for church listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew absolutely free when you press in promo code JOEY, Joey. Just pay the $5 shipping. That's it. That's promo code JOEY, and you're going to change your life. You're going to sling dick like a gladiator. You understand me? You're going to bust bottles over your head. You're going to be a fucking savage. Women will be calling you from all over the world. Hi, are you available this Saturday? Listen, I'm busy with Blue Chew. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And I want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show and for helping me sling dick at 62. You know what I'm saying?